You have a lot of what we call gun-ho Hebrews or black power groups that not understanding what it means when it says render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. So we want to get some good understanding today concerning that this was concerning Israel against Israel and who had to govern us because we were out of control and couldn't do it ourselves. So y'all, from every perspective we look in these scriptures, it's going to be about Israel. Right. Tripping with Israel. Y'all, we got an in-house problem. If you think we don't, name the Black Power movement going to stop this champion of murder who done already dropped nuclear holocaust once. And boasting about the bomb they just dropped that wasn't nuclear, but the biggest bomb that ever been dropped, non-nuclear. Yeah. And you think we're going to get together a few Negroes that got a few bullets left over from New Year's Eve to take on this champion? Y'all, so we're going to get some clear understanding of that as well as turn the other cheek, because a lot of times you get people saying, well, that's that white man book doctrine or whatever it is. Well, we still waiting to see the black man's book to show us how we going to get delivered from this situation then. Because that's the problem. No deliverance. So y'all, we're going to start this off. As usual, Romans chapter 13, verse 1. We're going to get a little understanding. There's a lot of misunderstandings. You have a lot of Sunday doctrine saying that means do whatever the government tell you to do. Well, that ain't what these scriptures saying. That's what somebody fat mouth and talking out the side of their neck is talking about. That ain't in these scriptures.
Where you want to start at, Elder? Romans 13:1.
Before we get started, y'all, anybody got any questions or concern, anything on your heart, mind, or soul before we get started? This is Bible study. You know, we look at it as if the Lord's will, I'll see you next Sabbath, but that may not be the case. So whatever's on your mind, heart, or soul, if you got any questions concerning this Bible study, just raise your hand, y'all. We get right to you. We don't duck no questions. We try to answer all things in season and out of season. So if anybody got any questions or concerns before we get started, anything you've heard that may be troubling your spirit. Also, if not, we're going to move forward then. We got the Feast of Pentecost coming up, June the 4th. That's a Sunday. We're going to be out at Spanish Lake Park as we get closer, y'all. Now, when we say this is a private affair or an assembly affair, this is not as big as the Passover. This is a general assembly celebration, you know, that we'll be out at the park, you know, like we always do. We just got a little bit more room and things going on out there at Spanish Lake. But what the cost of this is $5 an individual and $10 for your family. Now, we ain't talking about no numbers in the family. If you are a man and woman or father and you got children, you got 10 children, it's still $10. But it's $5 for an individual, and that's just, we have to do this so we don't get caught short at a feast day with not enough for everybody to eat.
Damn, we all family, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all for $10
for everybody.
Yeah. No, well, you know, we know we coming off of that. Yeah, coming off of the Passover, and then, you know, we got the Memphis deal. So, you know, we have any residual left from that, we try to move it toward that, but we can't go bust. So y'all, and then we have to count. So if any of y'all have to leave before the end of class and y'all just won't take care of the $5 or whatever it may be, y'all can see Uriah before you get out of here, and he'll just get you marked on the list. And that way we know, so when we go to the store that Sabbath evening, we know what we have to purchase, at least generally, of the amount of people that's coming.
Right.
Because ain't nothing worse than a bunch of people in line with a plate and there's 50 people already up there and everybody start looking back. They out. So what you gonna do with your plate? You 50 behind, you number 50 and they out. Ain't no need to keep standing there. So so to prevent that, y'all, we have to do everything decent in order and get prepared for our feast days, y'all, because these are holy days. These are scheduled appointments that we must make. So with that, y'all, anybody got any questions or concerns? We're going to get going if you don't. Okay, you can hit it, bro.
All right, Romans chapter 13, verse 1.
Everybody get that.
Everybody there?
We got extra Bible. What's the extra Bible? Well, I got no script. We got script.
Put I'm gonna go to 12 tribes.
All right, Romans 13 and 1.
12 tribes. Hold on. You get that time of the Testament of 12 tribes and have it pulled up. Okay. Yeah.
Five cabinet. The five cabinet.
Yeah.
Testament 12, thank you.
Yeah. Naphtali. Yeah. She'll be under biblical books. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Get it done.
You ready, Dan?
Should be in that second cabinet. There was a whole box of brand new ones that somebody donated down. I think he got it in his hand right now.
14 of them there.
Right.
Yeah.
Sauce.
Yeah, I think he got it in his hand.
Sam brought a bunch down too.
Yeah, they both of them the same day.
Right. I mean, those are still in the plastic.
Yeah, there they are. He got them all right there. Yeah, I was finna say sometimes they'll hit us up, but we ain't bad about them hitting us up for no scripture.
Right.
Please use it.
Because you know that used to be back in the day when we didn't have burglar alarm system. That's where you put your money and your jewelry in the Bible, because the burglar's never gonna look that.
Nah.
They'll tear the whole house up. Them scriptures be standing right there glowing with last week's paycheck in it, what's left.
What's left?
Yeah.
We all good?
All right, Romans chapter 13, verse 1.
Whenever you're ready, Dan, let's pull it up.
Okay.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
Hold it right there. Let every soul be what?
Subject unto the higher powers.
So the key here is, what is the higher power? That's the understanding, or that's the misunderstanding that's been going around. What is higher power? You will have doctrine, Sunday doctrine, or other doctrines, or Muslim doctrine just say, well, okay, what y'all doing is setting the people up to get pounded out. Well, and that's because most of these doctrines deny the law of the Most High. Tomorrow they'll say the law is done away. So the only power that they understand that's exacting law on them is the government that they're currently up under. So they're not understanding this verse 1, who they are subject to. So read on, bro.
For there is no power but of God.
But of who?
But of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God.
Do what? Resist the what?
The ordinance of God.
What is an ordinance, y'all? A what? Law, commandment, statute, judgment. It's an ordinance. It's something that's wrote down. It's like you get a speeding ticket, there's an ordinance on the back. Ordinance, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Running a stop sign. That's an ordinance, so this is law. Go ahead.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
So you'll receive damnation to yourself. And how this turned left field to say, well, what you saying, brother? If the police tell you to pull your pants down and bend over, you supposed to do it? No.
No.
Because they're subject to the laws of the higher power. There's nothing in their writings or in their training that does that. If they do that, they gone rogue. It's rogue in everything. It was rogue in Israel under our law. So all you have is a police. So if one of them tell you that, know this point, you better be praying hard and asking the Lord to intervene at that moment, because this person may be up to no good. He finna try something and it's not ordained in their bylaws, so to speak. So y'all, we don't want to get caught up in the game plan of if they tell you this, do this, if they tell you that. If they tell you something, it should be in law. If it ain't, then you'll settle the matter if you make it to court. if you make it to court.
Yeah, I was waiting on that.
Read some more.
That was ordinance pulled up real quick too.
Go ahead, bro.
It's G1299. Datage, what?
Datage, you was right.
Datage, yeah. A deception arrangement ordinance. I'm sorry, a deposition arrangement ordinance.
Oh, yeah, I was finna say
Read the Strong's.
it's a deposition.
Read the Strong's. The Strong's definition right up under. Arrangement.
Arrangement that is institution, instrumentally.
Yeah. So it's a law.
So it's an established law.
Yeah.
Yo, and this ain't nothing new. See, people are running with like what Paul is talking about. Paul told you in Acts 24th chapter, Acts 28th chapter, that everything I'm saying, y'all, that's coming out of my mouth is from the law, statutes, the ordinance, and the judgment of the Most High. So what he's asking right here of us to do to keep this commandment can be found throughout from Genesis to Revelation. And we're going to make sure we bring those into the play to see that it ain't nothing new under the sun. He the same Yah as yesterday. Hebrews 13 chapter, that what he put down in the garden is what he put down when Paul wrote this. Ain't none of it changed about being in subject to somebody that's put in position of power. They didn't just set themselves up as rulers like this. They were given that position. Now, a lot of us don't like the way the Most High got down like that. And they say, is his ways unequal? Why would he set them up like that to rule over us? Want a good example? Let's hit some Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 8.
Also remember that they tell you when you go to court that ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Read 1 through
1 Samuel 8.
1 through 8, yeah. 1 Samuel.
Chapter
Hold on,
1.
chapter, no, let me get, chapter 8, I'm sorry.
Chapter 8.
Yeah. Yo, so we can see that our problem ain't with who we think it is. Our problem is our own people. You know, and the positions we find ourselves in, that somebody have to come in and govern us. We done lost the right and the ability to govern ourselves. If we could, the ghetto would be the most pleasant place on earth, wouldn't it? Huh? Wouldn't Martin Luther King Drive truly be a place of nonviolence? But I don't care what Martin Luther King Drive at, it's some violence going down. Wait till the sun set on Martin Luther King Drive from, what's that, Skinker or whatever it is, Lucas and Hunt, where it turned there, from right there down to Market Street or Jefferson or wherever it ends. It's going to be some violence when the sun sets.
In Illinois, in Atlanta.
Everywhere. Yeah.
What place you go with this one?
They actually do studies to show every Martin Luther King in this country the violence on that street. They actually do studies and reports on that.
And you can always find drugs on Martin Luther King. I heard that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 1, everybody there?
And y'all, we're going to go right back to that Romans. I just wanted to let us understand why things have to be put in place for us, because we'll lose our mind. You know, and y'all, why do y'all think we got run out of Jerusalem? Do you think these nations came in there and decided we taking over that kingdom right there, that temple and everything, all y'all priests, we coming in to take over? No, they were given permission to do it. Go ahead.
1 Samuel 8 and 1. And it came to pass, when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel.
So now y'all see how we got our own judge system set up? Look, these were the real Judge Hackett's and Judge Maybellines. Judge Joe Browns at this point in our own land, speaking our own language with our own culture. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba, and his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre.
What they turn aside after?
Lucre. And took bribes and perverted judgment.
Nah, this is in our land, y'all, under our own rulership.
Straight up.
Turn aside, took bribes, and perverted judgment. So if you had paper, you was off the hook. You go before these judges, they like, what you do? Oh, no. That's going to at least cost you 2 he-goats, 200 turtle doves, at least.
And you know it was us because we still try to get the hookup from our people to this day.
Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways, nor make us a king. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
See, so now they're blaming Samuel because of the wickedness that his son's doing. They say, well, look, we can get this straightened out if we have a king like all the rest of the other nations to govern over us. They got one ruler that call all of the shots. I hear they got a Donald Trump coming. These other nations that rule over all of them. That's what we looking for. Go ahead.
Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us.
See, you see how that give is capitalized because of what they're asking for. They're asking the same thing that the Pharisees did around the time of the Messiah when he walked this earth. Caesar's our king. We have no king but who? See, and this is Israelite hollering at. The same way that this ain't nothing new for Israel, y'all. This in-house problem of somebody else ruling over us because we mad or don't like who we see in this power position.
Like they were powerful for Barack.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken to the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me. And I should not
read that again.
That I should not reign over them.
So you see what the Most High had to tell Samuel, look, it ain't about you. This ain't personal with you. This with me. They're rejecting me. Now, me and Mal go talk about just about every day about these non-messianic Israelites out here that hate the Messiah so bad that they call them fags and sissies and, you know, the lover of men and all of these names. This is an in-house problem. But they can't name who they say the Messiah is or who it is to be. So it's just Satan. When the Antichrist hit this earth, they're going to be so happy to just anybody besides who these scriptures are talking about. And they're going to run to him and bend down to him because they tired of waiting. But their wait is in vain because the Messiah's already been here. Ain't nobody else going up on no cross. Ain't nobody else getting crucified. It ain't written but for one time. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee. That's it.
Go ahead, read that next one.
Verse 9. Now therefore hearken unto their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them.
So right here, he said, look, just go holler at him, tell him, yeah, the Most High take your request, because this is what he'll do. You keep asking for something, he'll give you what you asking for.
Give you right on up.
You know, so he'll tell you, okay, that's what y'all think y'all want. Y'all think y'all want that. Well, let me show you what y'all about to get with the one king. And it can't be reversed. No more can the blessing be reversed that Isaac told Esau. I can't reverse that, what I gave to Jacob. It's a non-reversal process. There ain't no reversing. It's the same as when Jacob put the elder son of Joseph, the younger son, in front of him. He said, no, sweet, no, this is the judgment here. It has to go like this. Once it's rendered, it's rendered. Everything else is try to circle back to the beginning to get back where we need to be into righteousness. But a price must be paid. Or we'll do this every weekend, y'all. Every weekend we'll do this. Go ahead, bro. I want you to read a little bit more because we want to see what they're going to do.
Verse 10. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. So we got this same thing in Sunday doctrine of people taking the sons. Eddie Long, all of them got, they call they sons of thunder, sons of this, where they try to mimic this and grab your sons and got them bowing down to you. And we know what Eddie Thong was doing with them. All of them got this little group of boys that they call their sons. They gonna take them. And we give them to them. Y'all remember when we was in church? You literally bring a pastor, this little Earl. Little Earl, come on, now shake the pastor's hand. That looks like a fine young man, make a good Dubois, I mean a deacon to be. In the making. Go ahead, let's read some more. Verse 12. And he will appoint him captains over thousands, and captors over 50s, and will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters and be confectionaries.
Read that again.
And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. So this is their job in their verses. We're doing it for the kingdom. Now you done switch, you're doing it for this earthly king now. All of this work, he's taking your daughters, they confectionary, they cooking for me. Y'all, and this is how these same rogue Israelite kingdoms get set up. That where they take everybody and you become subject to them. Benjamin Carter was taking scriptures in Israel, over there in the Dimona Desert. Everybody that came through, you had to give your scripture to him. He said, it's going to be in your heart, and I'm going to dictate it to you in your heart. He got 5 or 10 books out there. That's what they read. But their scriptures was off limits to them. Now, y'all think about this. These Israelites that know they Israelites, but they're looking at a man that says, this is the kingdom, and y'all my subjects. Go ahead. Verse 14. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. Y'all see what he's saying? All of your stuff that you get to them, you're going to give to them, and they're going to give away to his partners on the side. His hierarchy that's sitting there with them, y'all going to give everything to them because this what y'all want. Y'all want to give instead of receive the blessings of the Most High. So you want to fatten him up. You heard people say, look, we wanted our preacher to look good at that assembly in Chicago, so we bought him a fur coat. Huh? And my coat might as well be short sleeves. I done wore it so long the sleeves in there. And you donating on a fur coat? Go ahead, bro. 15. And he will take the 10th of your seed and of your vineyards, and give to his officers and to his servants, your men servants and your maid servants and your goodliest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. He will take the 10th of your sheep, and see how I said 10th? Yeah, read it. And he will take a 10th of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants. And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you. And the Lord will not hear you in that day. He said, I don't want to hear about none of that with mine. Y'all wanted that, so that's what y'all do. Now y'all think about that. Creflo Dollar say, all of the law is done away with, even the Big Ten. Now, would the Big Ten include tithing? Tithing is a law, ain't it? According to Numbers and Nehemiah, tithing is a law. It was a commanded law back in the day under the order of Aaron, which they tell you no longer exists. But they'll go to Malachi 3:8 and do exactly all of these verses we just said to you right here. You is debating, like Bill, finna get cut off Monday,
or the pastor need a new Lincoln. The light bill finna get cut off Monday, or the pastor need a new Lincoln. Guess what's getting cut off? Y'all know what we're talking about. They stopping at home at Family Dollar on the way in. Get that double pack of candles. So y'all, we just wanted the whole learn to just get to the point to where y'all we understand. Was that verse? 3 more verse? Okay, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna read this out, y'all. 19. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, "Nay, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles." And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, "Hearken unto their voice, and make them a king." And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, "Go ye every man unto his city."
So the Most High just say, let them have what they want.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, you know, your parents would do. Okay, you know, finally after a while, you going on out them streets and get what you keep asking for. But if you call her about killing somebody or robbing somebody, don't call her.
I ain't got a dime for it.
Don't be no bail money.
No bail money here. So y'all, we understand that this problem with us of who we want to be over us has always been a problem in Israel, even in our own land. So what Paul is stating right here ain't nothing different from over here. Because they said the same thing. We have, but who's our king? Who said that? The same rulers, wasn't it? Pharisees, Sadducees, all of them. Put him to death. We don't want the lawgiver. Caesar, our king. And then told Pilate, if you don't listen to us, we're going to get on the hotline to Caesar and tell him you tripping. Now, y'all talking about a sick people.
Straight up.
Go ahead, bro. Let's get back in this Romans 13.
Back in Romans 13.
Go ahead, bro.
You know, we want to before that about Caesar.
Okay, yes, sir. About
them claiming Caesar. They
okay, yeah. Pull that. I tell you what, pull that now.
All right, John 19.
Yes, sir.
The book of John, chapter 19. So we going next. John 19, start at verse 8. John 19, verse 8 through 15. 16. Let me know when y'all there. John chapter 19, verse 8 through 16. This is at the crucifixion of the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
And the sellout bootlickers of our nation, the leaders, the elders, you know, instead of choosing the Son of God, they chose Caesar. And the same spirit is alive even into this very day.
Yes, sir.
They'd rather choose Caesar than to deal with the Messiah that's bywater. All right, John chapter 19. John chapter 19, we'll start at verse 8. We all good? We there? John 19 and 8. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid, and went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Jesus, Whence art thou? But Jesus gave him no answer. Then saith Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Verse 11. Jesus answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me.
What'd he say?
Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee have the greater sin.
Oh, so y'all see that he straight told Pilate, look, he wasn't answering nothing. He was basically taking the fifth on everything until he said that. You know I got power. So y'all, what do we see here that the Most High is explaining? Romans 13 and 1. You got no power except for what my Father gave you. So that's limited of what you have right now. You're on limited power. You're on a visa status of power right now. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 12. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him. But the Jews cried out, saying, If thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar.
See, Caesar was the king of all the Roman nation. So it's the same thing. We want another king. We want Caesar now. But why? Because they were in the bed with him on money and bribes.
These were the leaders of our people.
Same money. Yeah, exactly the same. Money and bribes. What was you going to say, Matt?
Like today, Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, all them. Eddie Long, when he was alive. Jesse Jackson. Al Sharpton. All of them got their position of comfort and convenience from this so-called government when you're done talking.
Even the sinister.
They got a faith-based initiative they kicked off back in '06 called a 501c3.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Non-profit organizations for all religious and spiritual matters. Basically making them tax exempt. So they have to pay no taxes on anything. So all the money you forking over to the churches every Sunday, he ain't paying no taxes on none of that money. All the money he receives in, they're considered donations. Every non-profit, with any money they receive, they got to fill out a W-9 form. You're donating to him. And he ain't got to pay not 1 penny in taxes when it comes to it. So the fancy Learjets, the mega churches and all that, they are directly in bed with this so-called government. Just like it was back in Christ's time. The exact same way. Verse 13. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought the Messiah forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement, but in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover. And about the 6th hour, and he saith unto the Jews, behold your king. But they cried out, away with him, away with him. Crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar.
Y'all see this? I'm talking about y'all. These are straight graham crackers.
Yeah.
Imagine that getting played back on Judgment.
Brown crackers lightly sweetened. Graham cracker Negroes. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took the Messiah and led him away.
So y'all, we see right here that this in-house problem that we're having, this is Israel banging against Israel about who the king should be. Very familiar.
Hey Dan, imagine you were answering the question that on Judgment Day. You gave the Messiah over a thief, a robber.
But y'all, you know, because Messiah knew what his mission was, he told his father, forgive them for they know not what they do. They ain't got a clue about this. That money is got them. Y'all, paper chasing has been so bad about us. When you see in here, you can't serve God and who? Mammon. Mammon. Mammon was a demon that ruled over money when you start lusting after it. Yeah. When you paper chase it and you just keep stacking it. Like you see a dope dealer with, how much is that? Man, I don't know, 20, 30 million in there. But he can't buy nothing else.
Right. And look,
why? Because there's laws, not good job, bro, set in place that we gonna come. You can't keep putting all them Porsches in Big Mama's name and she on Social Security. How long you think you gonna fool this nation? She can't drive 1 foot cut off and you got 8 Porsches out there in her name. Yeah. And the only other thing you can do is go shopping and go to the Golden Corral while this money keeps stacking up to be done nothing with that they're going to end up getting back. When you go to the penitentiary area, they're going to get it all back. And they're going to tell you if 1 dime is missing from what you told us, the deal's off the table.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Nah, look, that's why I say for the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
What all comes with it? Greed, selfishness, covetousness, adultery, murder, stealing. Like, for you to even love this money and put it before your God, you would have to break all 10 commandments just to even love it. So it's so many different spirits and demonic demons that come with the love of money. Crazy, man.
Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
That was it. That was it for that.
We had Romans 13:3.
Okay.
Romans 13:3. For rulers are not a terror to good works.
For rulers are not a terror for what?
For to good works.
Right.
But to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
See, so when we talk about the good works of the Most High, this is what he's talking about when it said, I put them in charge under my watch. So if you obey me, their laws means absolutely zero to you.
Right.
If you're keeping the law, statutes, and judgment of this, that law is non-existent in your mind because they can't even come against you when you own this. It's impossible for them to bang against the power that set them up. But what happens is, y'all, like I said, it's for the evil. A lot of times they roll through. Here they come, y'all. Put that up. Put that up. Oh, they gonna flag me, dog. For what? Got them bad stickers from the tire shop on here. Oh. Not saying that you don't fall on hard times.
Right.
But they're not going to allow an income or a salary for anybody selling stolen stickers. Because whose stickers are those that you now have on your car? Huh? Somebody else's stickers. Yo, ain't no need us playing games with ourselves. We know where they came from. You know, so you're not going to butt heads with it like that. But give me the Hebrew definition of good so we get a good understanding of when the Messiah even said there's none good but my Father.
Hebrew definition of good is Hebrews H2896, Tawab or Tov. And it says good, pleasant, agreeable, excellent, rich, valuable, appropriate. Strong's definition, good. In the widest sense, used likewise as a noun, both in masculine and feminine, and singular and plural. Good, a good thing, a good man or woman. The good, goods, good things, good man or women. Also in a verb, it says beautiful, best, better, bountiful, cheerful, at ease, fair, be in, favor, fine, glad, good, deed. Keep going. Merry, most, pleasant, please, pleasure, precious, prosperity, ready, sweet, wealth, welfare, well favored, to be good.
See, so verse 3 and 1, for rulers are not a terror to good works. Everything he just said, if you follow these scriptures, those are good works. The law is not a terror to you.
Yeah.
Look, we hear about what's happening. But once you start rolling and your mindset is on this, reconstructing and governing your mindset and getting your heart right with the Most High, they're the last things on your mind. There's a higher power that you're concerned about that getting in check with.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about good and it's saying that's good, the position that he put it in, it's just saying, look, if you can get through that, then you got a shot at the kingdom. But y'all, we can't even get through these little laws because we fighting with what our arms are too short to fight because he said, I have to take them down. I can't leave it up to y'all because y'all didn't want me in 1 Samuel. What do y'all think y'all gonna do if y'all take this nation down? What's gonna happen? A bunch of Black Panthers run up into the White House and bring Donald Trump out like this. Yahweh Shai who after that point? Huh? Y'all know we're gonna be up in there, Al Green, blind, barbecues, basketball goal out on the front. Until we give it back to them again.
It'll fall. The whole kingdom will fall again.
Verse 4 and 5. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid.
Be a what?
Be afraid.
So y'all, when we talk about evil, meaning don't keep the commandments of the Most High, you know, because evil, if you turn that around, what does it spell?
Live.
What?
Live.
So if you keep the commandments, you do what? If you become evil, you do what? Die. So y'all, look, that's what it is. It's not a problem for us keeping these scriptures. That's the last thing on your mind. Yeah, we see it on the news and brothers getting killed innocently and slayed and different things like this. But everybody who gather Are they talking about the power of this book, or we just got some ambulance chasing lawyers behind them looking for a payday? All for the slaying of Israel by rogue police. Go ahead, bro.
For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon them that doeth evil.
So, y'all, we got an in-house problem of fighting against each other in the ghetto. How many slaves in St. Louis last week in the ghetto? 10. And Chicago have 70 in a weekend. Now, what do y'all think the numbers would go up to if nobody was cruising the streets? I'm just asking, rough. What do y'all think our numbers would be on death if there was nobody that they had to watch out for?
It'd be anarchy.
It'd be anarchy, y'all. It'd be out of control. It'd be like what was that, New Jack City, when they took over that apartment building?
The border.
Everybody's subject
to disorder and evil. Because, y'all, there's no other way to make an income or to bring us back up here but to pound out our own people, sell them all the dope, and you become king, and they're all subject to you for your dope dealing. But, okay, on Thanksgiving, I give all of you dope heads a turkey.
You don't sell it.
You gonna sell it.
Right. Go ahead, bro. You finish verse 8.
Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake.
For what sake?
For conscience sake.
That's it. You going down to verse 8?
I thought you want to start at 5.
No, verse 8.
I'm sorry.
He's stingy with the script.
I'm looking what he wrote down.
Right.
For this cause pay ye truth. Let me start that over. I'm having to find my glasses.
Yeah.
For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything, but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
And we're just talking about the law, love your neighbor as yourself. So if you don't want him stealing out of your house when you go to work, don't steal out of his when he go to work. Everywhere we went, any definition you look up Jews or ghetto, it'll say where the Jews dwell. You look up ghetto in the dictionary, so we were in the ghettos of Egypt, in Goshen. Our own people around ourselves, and the same issues happen. Wherever we go. You want to hit that Jeremiah?
Jeremiah 29?
Yeah. So y'all, and what we're talking about is Paul preparing us for going into captivity until the Messiah come and redeem us from these nations, from the four corners of the earth, because we're getting in preparation for that. It's either understand the higher power law, and this law will mean nothing to you, and you'll be able to move and groove through this nation until the time comes. Or you can try it and see if you and a few of your partners can take over.
Yeah, right.
Y'all can do some training, hit some heavy bags, swing on some monkey bars, slide down the sliding board and jump up with your knife.
Can you take over 7?
No. Where we at?
Jeremiah 29.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah 29, 1 through 14. This is a letter to the captives. This is back when we were slaves in ancient Babylon. And there was a whole bunch of resistant movements trying to rise up then too. And go against what was already prophesied by the Most High. Well, Jeremiah, a real prophet of the Most High, told our people, like, look, don't let nobody deceive you. Ain't no taking down Babylon until the Most High take it down. You feel me? So trip off what he told the captives, like how they conduct themselves. He ain't told them go load up no weapons and sharpen their swords up and go kill Nebuchadnezzar. Because you in this position, why? Why are we in this position? A whole bunch of heathens just canoed down the west coast of Africa and said, ooh, look at his back.
Right.
Look at his biceps. He looks strong.
Right.
I want him.
Right. Right.
You know better. The Lord prophesied out the mouth of Moses, you're going down if you go against me. I'm going to raise the nations up, and they going to come and get at you because you ain't want to serve me. So when it happened and you know deep in prophecy, you start getting emotional. Now you're emotional. No. See, I'm Israel. I'm the Prince of God. I ain't supposed to be ruled by nobody. Yeah, but you ain't want to serve your God. You did? Well, again, Daniel, you said we was in our own land, spoke our own language, had our own military, and we couldn't get along then. Every prophet the Most High sent to us, we persecuted, mocked them, tried to have them locked up, killed. The brother Isaiah was sawn in half. His own people sawed him in half because they didn't want to hear the truth. Jeremiah, you getting to him, Jeremiah stayed in prison. They kept throwing him in the hole.
Right.
One hole they pulled the brother out of, he told the king, like, man, don't ever send me back there, I'm going to die. It was filled with mud. Left him in there, and they took a Gentile Ethiopian to go beg the king, like, man, let him up out of there, man, y'all tripping. he a man of God, y'all. But the Israelites was like, nah, man, lay it for him because they didn't want to hear the truth. Y'all going down for going against your God.
That's deep.
You see? And you don't want to hear it.
That's right.
Because it hurts.
That's crazy.
And it should hurt when you look out, you know, look on the news and look in the streets and you see how we acted and the reaction to all of it. You know what I'm saying? When you see your brothers slain in the streets, whether it be by our hand or the police, that should hurt.
That's right.
It should hurt when you go down Delmore and see somebody of your own switching, a man switching like he a woman. That should hurt. But it's a reminder that what, man, we must have did something awful horrible for this to happen to us, man.
Right. In a sunken place.
And the Most High told you. It ain't like it just popped up out of nowhere. He said, look, if you go against me, I'm going to send the worst of the heathens on y'all. In your affliction, you'll seek me. When you load in a footprint, you're like, oh, Lord. And it trip off there. Everybody get locked up, get religious.
Right.
Get spiritual. You get locked up, you got a kufi on his head, you know. Everybody get locked up, get spiritual. So look, it's a way you're supposed to conduct yourself. The only reason we in this situation is because we turned our back on our God.
That's right.
And he told you, look, I'm going to hit your head for that. You think you're going to respect me, right? 613 plus laws in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Now you're in subjection over 2.5 million. It was much easier to serve your God.
How many of these nations got?
Over 2.5 million laws. And look, and counting because they make up new laws every day.
While you sleep.
Hold on, say that again, Hebrews 613. Now we're subjected to what?
2.5 million. And counting.
It was better just to serve our God.
That's all you had to do. And love your brother as yourself.
That's right.
You see? So this is a message to the captives of Jeremiah. And they didn't want to hear Jeremiah. He's known as the weeping prophet. He cried out so much, like, come on, y'all, get this together. The Lord gonna send them black Babylonians on y'all.
Right.
Just before the white man got you, there was black Babylonians. That didn't serve your God, that was pagans. Jeremiah 29. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Jeremiah 29 and 1. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders, which were carried away captives, and to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon.
So y'all, we see right here, y'all, the Most High ain't never left us abandoned. He have instructions of how we got to put in this kingdom, because it'll make everybody say, what kind of God is there to do his own people like that?
Yeah.
What kind of people would do their God like that, and he's the ruler of the universe? Ooh, how you gonna turn your back? How the clay gonna tell the potter what to do? You can read a scripture and you shall be bludgeoned about the head and shoulders. And if you don't straighten up, you face the leg of fire. No, I don't believe that. It's right there. No, the God I serve wouldn't do that. Well, who you serving that allow you to do whatever you want to do?
In this book.
When you feel like it, what are you going to church for then? Go ahead, El. No.
Hosea.
Oh, that's Hosea. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Verse 5, he's saying, thus saith Yahweh, says, what unrighteousness have your fathers found in me? They have
And became what? Worthless. How has the gold become dim? Lamentations 4th chapter. When you get in there, y'all, you'll see the state we fell from.
Right.
Gold is dim. Somebody got a couple grills in there and they dull, they gonna get a nasty look, ain't they?
Right.
Better put some twinkle on it like we used to do, or rub that polish rag or something on it. But y'all, it done went back to that, just look like you've been eating a bunch of butter sandwiches. How have the gold become dim? Go ahead, bro.
And then also, if it's too hard for you to catch, trip off you as a parent and how you run your household. Do your children just do whatever they want to do?
Hell no.
Tell you, I'm not doing that.
Right. Get out of my room.
No. No, mother.
Yeah, all right. Well,
It's like you said, though, Dan. Dan said something very important at the beginning of the class. He said this. He said, even if you choose not to be under the law of God, Negro, you still in subjection to something.
Right.
No matter what religion you choose, even if it's witchcraft or, Aleister Crowley, do what thou wilt. Even under his doctrine, you still have laws you gotta abide by. Right. So it ain't nowhere that we go in existence where you ain't following or governed by something that's beyond you.
Yeah.
So why not follow your God and your culture, the God of the universe, which is behind all things? Because what's above the universe but God?
That's right.
Real talk.
It's an illusion, man.
The children don't tell the parents what to do. The inmates don't run the asylum.
Hell no.
Even if you don't want to believe in our God, you still stopping at stop signs and obeying speed limits.
Right.
You in subjection to something. Ain't no such thing as you just, I'm just free. I'm a free thinker.
Was that this free white and 21 that saying they used to have? That's what they would say.
It ain't no such thing.
White, so 21.
Don't trip off this. This verse 2. After that, Jeconiah the king and the queen and the eunuchs, the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem.
Yeah, we back in Jeremiah 29.
29 verse 3. By the hand of Elisah, the son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses.
Do what?
Build ye houses, and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
So he's basically saying, y'all there for the long haul. I'm not coming back no time soon on this one. Build you some houses. Get yourselves together. You're going to be there for a little minute.
Yeah.
He didn't say it was permanent. But he didn't say we're going to be seeking an out plan. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. Take ye wives.
Do what?
Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters. And take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there, and not diminished. And seek the peace of the city. And seek the peace of the city.
Y'all see that?
Whither I have caused you to be carried away captive, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace.
So if we don't find out what it is that caused peace for us, we're going to have a lot of problems and disease in our community. Yeah, I was talking to Mordecai the other day. It's a special out there talking about Spanish Lake. And how Pruitt-Igoe moved in there.
Yeah.
And a once vibrant community, because we came in there with no understanding of law and no understanding of peace. And Spanish Lake is what it is today.
That's right.
Yo, this not a deal that they understand these things gonna take place, because when they set up Pruitt-Igoe, they knew what they were doing. That's why they call them projects.
Yeah.
They were a project, a 20-year project.
Yeah. Y'all know where the word project came from? It was two scientists that used to study plants. And what he used to do is he used to stack different types of botany plants on top of each other, and to see the way they grow. And he noticed when the plants grow on top of each other like that, the bottom plants start trying to take stronghold to the top plants and kill every plant in the middle. So he said, let me take these same type of botany plants and do it with rats. They took rats, they put maize on top of maize on top of maize. and the rats at the bottom started stealing cheese from the top, but the ones in the middle start protecting themselves. So the whole project start turning themselves into each other. So look, no bull. In 1780, first project, 1780, a white man said, let's build some buildings and stick some niggas in it. And let's make them 20 stories. Look, within 5 years, the whole projects had STDs. They started robbing, killing each other. All of them was out on crack and all of that. And that's what you call a project. All a project is when you take a subject and you make an experiment out of it. That's what projects came from.
So y'all, if y'all can look all that up, and it was by 2 men that set it up. Something Pruitt was his last name, and Leroy Igo or whatever the other man's name was.
Started from plants.
Yeah, and then they were spraying chemicals off the rooftops.
Yeah, most definitely.
And nothing else have been put on Pruitt Igo ground that's been sprouted up since it was tore down, because it's contaminated.
Jefferson and Cass, huh?
Jefferson and Cass.
You done rolled past it so many times, it looked like a wilderness.
And then, look.
Now you got the entire neighborhood right there blocked off with a gate.
Yeah. But look, you see what they do now, though, right?
Hold on. You finished that? Hold on. Was you finished? Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was finished. Yeah. The NSA building. Right.
You gotta clean the ground first.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
So messed up.
The same architect for the Empire State Building, I think he's the same one for
Pruitt Igo. Cabrini Green,
Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah, and people what they doing now though, they tearing all of them down, right? And building new buildings. Instead of it being long now, they make them, instead of them being long in height, now they make them long in width. Now they're making them look like the jail cells other than the project. Still the same thing though. Instead of, we ain't gonna put you niggas on top of each other, we gonna put y'all right next door to each other. Because we know y'all can't follow the commandment, the 2 great ones, which is to love God with all yourselves and to love your brother. We know y'all gonna break those, so we gonna stack all y'all in the same. Look, they always talk about us putting 50 Mexicans in one van. Put 50 niggas in one van.
No.
Ain't no grass getting cut.
No.
Ain't no construction getting done.
No.
And don't let it be hot.
And to piggyback on that, the bond projects that used to be down there, it's some buildings in California exactly identical. They luxury condominiums.
Yeah,
they're exactly identical to them.
Wow, man.
Yo, so what? And then what else he was saying about Pruitt Igo, when they did the experiment, all of them was getting along as long as them had food, and they changed the water, and they changed the clean the hay out when they had, you know, dropped dung everywhere.
Sanitary.
They cleaned it every day, and it was peace on every level. So what they did is they snatched the food from this one.
And then they cut the water off.
And
for 6 months.
Yeah.
For 6 months. Man, them niggas turned crazy. They got to killing each other.
They knew it.
They got to killing each other. Man, it was, hey, look up that stuff, man. Look, if you want to turn a nigga crazy, take his food, his guy, and his water supply. The next one that got it, they gonna get it. Okay, they got food downstairs, they got water upstairs.
Right.
What we gonna do? These niggas coming downstairs to take the food, they coming upstairs. But look, they all meet in the middle where everybody was so, this where you get the, what they call it, mid-class.
The middle class.
Yeah, middle class is a byproduct of casualty. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
Look, we need to get upstairs and we need to get downstairs. Y'all want to keep the peace in the middle class, y'all getting it too.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, hey, to blow your, it all started from plants. He seen the way plants grew and he like, look, if we can do rats the same way, we can do niggas the same way.
Right. So y'all, we are experimented people, because the main thing is when we thought we was going to church to hear the law of God to straighten us out, all we were hearing were commandments of men.
Straight up.
You know, no laws. Every day you hear, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So you never know what the higher power is. You're mid-class now. You're in the middle of rulership now. Somebody that's been put in place to govern over you. And when they see our behavior, y'all, because y'all have to understand, when they drive through here and they see us with our pants at the back of our kneecaps and standing by a liquor store and a gun shop on every corner, and they just wag their head and they say, these are the people of God, and they just drive through right to their establishment and open their Chinese rice stores, herb meat store, their liquor stores, and they open up and then they drive right back out the same way, back up into the suburbs. It's a gold mine down here because you got a people that won't obey. So you're subject to whatever they put on us. Right. And then we turn it on ourselves. But y'all, we ain't gonna tarry on that too much long. 1 Peter 2. Verse 9 through 19. Yeah. Y'all, we just hitting a few things, man, that a lot of times you'll hear people saying we're gonna jump right into the Old Testament to see ain't nothing changed under the sun about somebody stepping up and understanding when I say no to this ruler and tell them no. The higher ruler say, I can't move on this one. How you gonna let them hand you your Bible in their court system and you put your hand on it making a vow and ain't got a clue what's inside of it? You will swear when it say don't swear. Do you swear to tell the whole truth? Nothing but the truth. And you, I do. Y'all don't understand. They take it more serious than we do because they say we got them now. Perjury is on the table. Is Big Mama a dope dealer? You didn't put your hand on that. Remember, you're under what? Oh.
Got him.
And you look over at Big Mama.
Got him.
All right.
Perfect example, that wide receiver for Denver Broncos. His grandmama and mama. Both of them in the penitentiary. Well, Obama pardoned the mama. The grandmama be out soon, but it was some swearing in and telling. What you got back there, your head?
Well, if they have before you're married, you commit adultery, it's a crime. That's a crime where it says that your spouse gives money to the father. So their system is kind of all against the law.
Say again.
I'm saying like when say if you're married to somebody and get to the point of
hey, y'all got to hold a private conversation now. We can't hear over here. Go ahead. What you saying?
If you're married to someone in the United States,
right?
If you commit adultery,
right,
with somebody else or whatnot, that's called committed adultery, and your spouse get all type of money. You don't even so their court law is even built in from the commandments of the Father.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because this is what they're saying.
That's what they're basing this on.
Who got Public Law 97-280? Pull that up and just read that.
Like the movie Unfaithful. Her whole thing was to get pictures of her husband sleeping with somebody else to get all the money for insurance.
Y'all, but,
Public Law, lighter.
97-280. If anybody got that, if not, we'll move on, y'all. For time's sake.
I mean, I don't got internet connection.
Okay, 1 Peter chapter 2. Verse 9 through 19, y'all. And y'all, why we are going over this is because, y'all, we don't know how long this captivity gonna be. We see the signs that it's almost at its end. We see World War III right at the door. We know that that will be the kickoff point. But if something happened and that get delayed another 20 years, where that's gonna put you at your current age? So you got to be prepared to maintain, but be ready to drop everything at a drop of a hat.
Right.
Like when he went and got Lot. Lot left everything. You know how long Lot had been in Sodom and Gomorrah? Since him and Abraham had split when they heard him and got to argue. Long time he was there. He was raising, he built houses and had daughters, had 4 daughters. 2 of them left with him, the other 2 stayed. So y'all, we see this pattern, but at a drop of a hat, forget it. I ain't gonna even look back at it. You look back and say, I just put that new deck up there and everybody was supposed to come over Thursday. We gotta go. You worried about that? And you know that uncle coming who speak out of turn. Where we at, bro?
We're in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
What kind of priesthood?
A royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of Yah, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust.
What kind of lust?
Fleshly lust.
Yo, this is what most of us and why we have to do and take the deals that they offer us because of our fleshly lust. Yo, we get caught up in our fleshly lust. It's one way you can do it, recover, and don't come back in there and say, I should have followed my what? What's that first man? Who you think that is talking to you? Over this governing law. That's your first mind tell you, don't do it. Don't do it. Why after all the heat come down, you say, I should have followed it? Yes, you should have. So y'all, the devil, our adversary, know our background, so to speak. He been knowing it. He been doing this to us since the Garden of Eden. We got thrown out of there. See, we talking about Jerusalem. Do y'all understand we got thrown out of paradise? And told don't come back for 5,000 to 12,000 years till the Messiah set this straight. Don't come back. Because that's all the new kingdom is New Jerusalem. It's the Garden of Eden, just coming back. It wasn't looking like Grant's Farm. It just wasn't animals and folks rubbing them, running with a basket of fruit. This was a supernatural kingdom set up already, supposed to have been for pure righteousness' sake of commandment keeping, not forced commandments, but a free will commandment keeping. Because it was created before the earth. What is it? Give me that Wisdom of Solomon real quick. You got that at chapter 2, y'all, just so y'all understand that paradise, like Messiah say, I go to prepare a place for you. Just going to get it together, get it back together, make sure all sin is eradicated out of, nothing left over from the tree of good and evil. None of the stains of Adam in there. We're going to go get it back together. And that's when I saw New Jerusalem descending down. That's going to sit in Eden, which is the world. There was just a garden planted eastward in Eden. Y'all understand? Eden is the world. I'm going to take this garden and I'm just going to put it on the east side of Eden. So we get some clear understanding. Go ahead, bro.
The book of 2nd Nazarene, chapter 3. 2nd Nazarene, chapter 3, 1 through 10.
Y'all, if y'all got y'all apocrypha, y'all, we'll read out of that. And y'all, we just want to get some understanding.
Verse 6 is before the earth came forth.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
If y'all ain't got it, we're going to pull it up on the board. It's loading up now. You have to break down the apocrypha, brother. After 1611.
The apocrypha was part of the 1611 original translation. 1611, it has it in here with the Bible. It's in between the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Protestants were arguing with the Catholics over it, so they took it out. 14 books. 14 books they took out.
That's these little red, it's not cartoon or comic books. You see these little red books from the books.
You can still buy it.
$8 on Amazon.
You can still buy it together like this.
These are comic books. Cute little red books you all have.
Right.
It's the Apocrypha, which was part of the 1611. Now I'm starting verse 1.
Yeah, yes sir.
2nd Nazarene chapter 3.
Y'all see that up on the board? You may have to stretch them out a bit.
Little more, little tape.
You good? And this is why he was in Babylon as a slave as well. Like he was slave in America. Don't be deceived. 2nd Ezra chapter 3 verse 1.
It's on the board, y'all.
In the 30th year after the ruin of the city, I was in Babylon and laid troubled upon my bed. and my thoughts came up over my heart. For I saw the desolation of Zion, and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon. And my spirit was sore moved, so that I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High, and said, O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commanded the people, and gave a body unto Adam without soul.
Without what?
Without soul. Which was the workmanship of thine hands. And thou didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. And thou led him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forth.
So you see, led him into paradise, which was already prepared, already planted, y'all. So before the earth was ever told to come forth. Go ahead, bro. Was you gonna read some more?
Yeah, look it down
Okay.
to 10. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed. And immediately thou appointed death in him and in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. And every people walked after their own way.
What they do?
Walked after their own way, and did wonderful things before thee, and despised thy commandments. And again, in process of time, thou broughtest the flood upon those that dwelt in the world, and destroyed them. And it came to pass in every of them, that as death was to Adam, so was the flood to these.
So go down to verse 15.
I was just going to say,
Let's get her done. Verse 11. 2 Ezra 3:11. Nevertheless, one of them that left us, namely Noah, with his household, of whom came all righteous men. And it happened that when they dwelt upon the earth, began to multiply, and had gotten them many children, and were a great people, they began again to be more ungodly than the first. Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham. Him thou loved, and unto him only thou shewest thy will, and made an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee.
That's right.
And put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Yes, sir. So y'all, we see here that our problem of being kicked out ain't nothing new for us. Y'all, it's just when he kick us out will we recover ourselves, you know, to be able to be let back in. Because if you can't deal with these lesser laws, you sure ain't gonna be able to deal with the Most High's laws in this kingdom.
That's right.
Well, you just said we still getting kicked out, we still get evicted today.
Yeah.
You ain't paying your rent, you get evicted.
Right.
So you ain't paying yours to the Most High, you get evicted.
Yes, sir.
Just let you know, we never stop being hard-headed. We break the laws and covenant of God. We break the laws and covenant of the world. Any type of authority that get put upon our people as a whole, we break.
That's right.
Which means it's an obedience problem that's been since the beginning. It started with our forefather and our foremother. What happened in the garden? An obedience problem. Father said, don't do this, and we did.
Right.
And we still doing it till this day. And that's been thousands and thousands of years. It lets you know that we really have a mental illness.
Yeah.
We obey manna before we obey our God.
Yeah, it's called stiff-neckedness.
Yeah, that's what it's
Like
called.
I say all the time. Hey, look, you be at work at 9 pronto to clock in. But the Most High say, obey a Shabbat, and you completely destroy that. But you'll be at work all the time. You make sure your retirement fund in. You put in on your 401k. You know what I'm saying? You play all the laws of the land, but then you forsake your God. Makes no sense.
Right, and think he about to change his mind because you don't feel a certain way.
Right.
And we the only people that do that. I just don't feel like, you know.
Right.
Not my God.
Right.
What day is your Sabbath? Like,
Right.
what we
What
getting
are
all
you
this stuff
talking
from?
about? Right.
Like he gonna change his mind because you feel a certain way. Like, look, do your children change the rules of your house because they walk off stomping?
Not at all.
Lip poked out.
Not at all.
Stomping,
So what
you
makes
say,
you
boy.
think you changed the will of your father because you in your feelings about something?
Right.
It don't fly like that. You either gonna obey or hey, ain't no spot for you in his kingdom. And that's just what it is, man.
You even hear your mama say, you too grown for me, it's time for you to get your own.
Uh-oh.
You got to go.
You gonna have to get up out of her.
You got to, and look, this before high school. Like that,
Right.
where I'm gonna go?
Right, at that point. I ain't thought that one out yet. Ain't that some of y'all, that's how we do.
Adolescents.
Right. We don't have what we call plan B. It's just plan A.
That's right. That's it, man.
He talking tough, I ain't doing it. No, that room gonna stay the way it is. Get out of here. Where I'm gonna go? Where you can do that.
Ain't no place on earth.
And the only place like that is dark alleyways. Where the rules are made up after your head has been busted open and pocket rifled through.
I said you was just on the fly one day.
Dog, you shouldn't have went down there, boy. You know, it's rules. You don't go over there tripping. They'll jack you. You like, oh, okay. So all you learning is ungodliness to move outside of the scope of understanding and instruction.
Don't make sense, Dan. Look, hey, what's crazy is you won't listen to your mama, but your ass won't go on the other side of the north side with a red shirt on.
Right.
Makes no sense.
You obey that.
It don't make no sense, man. That's a mental illness, man.
Let's get it. 1 Peter, where we at? Did you finish that?
No, we're in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 11.
What it say?
Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul.
I like that, boy.
See, that's an internal problem, which then becomes an internal problem for your family, which then becomes an internal problem for your nation. So it's a trickle-down effect. Because I can't get a grip on this. Well, I go to this family member and he'll back me up on this. So now they get pulled into it. And then guess what? Now the magistrate have to come in to straighten out our behavior.
It happened last week. That lady at her house shooting up the house in the neighborhood. The magistrate came and straightened her out.
Verse 12. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
See, that don't mean you got to talk a certain way. Your conversation honest is the law, statutes, and judgment. That's pure honesty. That's why we dealt with the word good coming out. When the Messiah said there's none good but the Father. If that conversation is coming out of you, the Gentiles will be back behind you. They know the deal. It's a way you're carrying yourself. But what they're watching for is, do you have the ways of these other nations? We see you wearing your fringes. We see you doing this, but we also saw you stealing somebody's lunch out of the refrigerator.
No, it wasn't yours because you asked.
Right.
Was it?
Right. You done lost your job with fringes on stealing somebody else's lunch. And telling this one in the next cubicle about eating pork. Israel crazy. Go ahead.
Straight up down there.
Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, they may by your good works.
What kind of works?
Your good works.
So y'all, you see, it's a lot of times because you're representing a brand name. Y'all, you'll go in there and you'll talk about that Gucci and them gators you got on, but this is a brand name and we wear it like it's a bootleg DVD sold at the Chinese shop. Oh man, you just watch out for like about 2 hours and 20 minutes, somebody gonna stand up and gonna block the screen for a few minutes. Once you just fast forward past that. That's how we take this now. As a bootleg. Go ahead.
Which they shall behold, glorify Yah in the day of visitation, Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Most High's sake.
See, the ordinances, so y'all, we're not talking about somebody just tell you to do something. When they put something in place, they're going to be judged by what they put in place, because they say in this nation, Public Law 97-280, y'all look it up, that the Bible is the official word of the Most High in this nation. So no matter what they do, we ain't worried about them legalizing same-sex. Same-sex ain't in the book that they say rules their nation. So they have to be judged by breaking the laws that they say this is our rulership. This what we swear our people in on. This what we take you to court. All of it is judged by this. If they legalize and make an ordinance for same-sex, they never said you have to marry a man. They just said some men can marry another man right now. They ain't forced you yet. Right. Now, if they start forcing you and commanding things, then that's when we step back. And we're going to hear some few examples of when, at that point, you like, no, enough's enough. Yeah. Y'all done went too far now. And if y'all think man on man is some way to bestiality is legalized. When you think Tower Grove is on fire right now, wait till you see somebody, a woman with a Great Dane, and both of them is having their way up under a tree.
Coming to a city near you.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Whenever they swear in on it, they're acknowledging that the law of God is higher than their law that they adjudicate over. Right. So when you swear in on it, you're basically saying, I agree to all the judgments that's in here as well. Mm-hmm. So if the Bible is the word of God according to their public law, but they're okay in same-sex marriage and bestiality and all that coming to a city near you, they're perfectly fine with the judgment that comes behind it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You understand? What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah? They got spiritually nuked by the Lord. They got incinerated off the mouth.
And that was way before Mount Sinai.
Yeah, you feel me? So they ain't did nothing but cut their own throats when they did that. You feel me? Because it's still in your legislation. The Bible is the word of God. But what the Bible says should happen to those participating in such matters. Mm-hmm. You see? So being that they got the Bible up as the word of God, and you start passing legislation that goes against the God of the Bible, then guess what? You just signed your own death certificate. That's what they did. Ain't even on us to be on some, okay, now it's time for me to start executing judgment. No. The Lord gonna handle this piece of real estate like he did that piece of real estate.
Right.
You feel me?
You're worried about keeping yourself straight.
Yeah. That's it, man. So, I mean, again, we know it hurts, but it's just further signs to let us know what time we in. Because the Lord said these days was coming as it was in the days of Noah. Right? So now that it's here, you know, it ain't for us to get too emotional behind this. It's like, hey, lock and load, man. These are the last days. How about I get myself together?
Right.
So I don't be caught left field with the sodomites.
That's right.
Like you just quoted what it said, as in the days of Noah, you need to be worried about being on the boat and not getting left behind.
Absolutely, y'all. And it's all the nation doing this when they make them laws is to satisfy your lust through bribes. Y'all, how they got this through, they started voting in homosexuals. They kept voting them in. And they got enough of them in there to sway the vote contest. Y'all, they know what they doing, and then it satisfies the lust of the flesh. No matter, the Bible is saying this, but still they'll swear in it on every day and pass legislation. Y'all, and in like manner, if we say we serve the Most High, and we doing this on the other side of midnight, we doing the same thing they doing.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, Dan, look, when this Mark of the Beast come out, the options are going to be live forever, or I'm going to give you the lust of the flesh.
Right.
So look, you going to cop out on the Lord because you hungry, Negro? Right. All because your flesh is hungry? Right. Like if you even like weigh it up and peep the wages of the flesh and the wages of your eternal salvation, don't even add up.
Right.
But you so deep and caught up into your fleshly emotions and the lust of it, you would give up eternal salvation just to eat an apple, some grapes, or whatever they're gonna give you.
Swine shank.
Some swine. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some crazy stuff anyway, because the heathen dealing with it. It don't make sense.
Absolutely.
Look, man.
One other thing y'all have to look out what you're gonna get is that, like, we've come, you know, as blacks here in this country, where we've come through civil rights and we had to fight for all these rights to get this and get that to be included. Well, you know, they said, okay, now, you know, years ago we got to have a black on the job for this, you know, we got to promote a black person for this, and we got to make sure, you know,
affirmative action, yeah.
Right. Well, now you got to understand that they're saying we got to have a transgender in this position, we got to have a gay person in this position.
Right.
You know, we have to make gay managers, you know, so that they will already say, okay, now, okay, Frank was now Lucy, and now Lucy has to be promoted, you know, so they can't say that, you know, we don't promote for them, but they're pushing their agenda.
Right.
They're pushing their agenda, and you think you just get, you already behind, you're getting further left behind. They're taking all what they did for blacks and just moving you further back to the bus and putting you up, them up in front of you, because they said that's the way this country's moved. We gotta have this now, and then you can't say nothing about it. Yeah. You can't even sell your job. Y'all know that's wrong.
You're
being a racist.
You can.
You're the one that's in trouble.
You can. It's just how you say it. See, because this is the craftiness of the devil. Every cafeteria having we cannot discriminate on what you believe. It's just how do you believe it? Do you can shout out right there, oh hell no, you gonna put this faggot next to me? Hey, I can't work like that.
I gotta work for myself.
They say you don't have to worry about working like that. You can work from home.
Yeah.
Now, under your own leadership. But you out of here. So they tell you, we're not here for you to proselytize or worry about who we got next to you. We asked you, can you do it? And you signed this contract and you said, yeah. Now you know how we get down. You said, yeah. You just never thought we was gonna bring it to your doorstep. But Lot went through this every day, vexed with the sins of the wicked. I'm talking about street corner activity that in the book of Jasher, 19th chapter, tell you that they had beg on the street corners. You could ride, I'm talking about broad daylight, and somebody is putting in work and people are sitting out there in lawn chairs watching. Oh my, how he works with that heavy machinery, plowing that field. On street corners. And Lot was living there and maintained his righteousness. So y'all, they're telling you, we know who y'all serve, but you can't judge us at our establishment. Now, if you don't like it, you can leave. But they're not gonna step over on your toes. They're not gonna tell you, you can't not feel that way about them. It's just how you use the language. If they ask you, well, look, according to the faith that I practice, I can't agree with that behavior.
Right.
Now, do you want us to go to court? We can go to court and see how it gets settled. But if you use a different language, God say ain't no fag supposed to be around her, let alone sit next to me. What does your God say about adultery? Yeah. Because we saw your whispering at the cooler with Shaniqua Earl's wife. What does he say about that?
Earl's wife.
Earl get around, dog.
So y'all, that's why I'm saying we are being watched constantly when you wear this brand name, because the devil is looking for you to make a false step. He didn't put us in these positions where we'll suffer. Ain't nothing that's happening to us is common in anywhere we've been in any captivity in this universe. In this world, in every kingdom we done been in, the same process has been played out. And we see how brothers, when they get to a certain line, they don't cross that line. Yo, you got to find your line with the Most High in this world. You're going to be of the world. You're in the world, but you can't be of it. That's right. So you have to find that line to say, that's the line in the sand that I can't go across. Right. And y'all realize that when you tell them that, they'll say, okay. We're just wondering when you was gonna tell us. Hey y'all, they don't participate in the potluck, skip him. They used to do the Jehovah's Witnesses like that when we was in grade school, didn't they? Mm-hmm. They don't celebrate Christmas. Here's your work packet, they'll be back there working, and you turn open gifts. They crazy. They missing out. They sitting there like this. Y'all missing out. Yep. Y'all missing out. Y'all don't know what y'all into. Y'all don't know what they doing to y'all. So y'all, their laws are not going to conflict with the Bible until this king sets up and he say, this is no more. This is no more. So you got maneuvering power throughout it. Just read the bylaws. It's protected who you believe you are. Now you can't go in there and dominate them out. You can't put your fringes on. You work at Valvoline. You can't be just. They say no. You can't have fringes on the Valvoline uniform. Wear them under the uniform. So we have no disrespect, so to speak, because everybody gonna be challenging you at that point. I'm not saying don't represent, but when you represent, they are looking for the error or the lust of your flesh, and they're gonna send somebody at you. Believe that. And it's probably gonna be one of us. Go ahead, bro.
You see, but something that people really don't trip off of is the civil rights movement back in the 60s, man. We were asking for civil rights. Treat us like men and women.
Right.
They asking for equal rights. You understand? We just wanted to be treated like regular people.
Human beings.
Exactly.
I am a man.
But this is a choice that they make to live a lifestyle, and then they use the movement that we lost people through to get, you know.
That was the point.
Exactly.
That was the whole point.
But remember that.
Still 3/5.
Right, it wasn't an equal rights movement, it was a civil rights movement.
Right.
So keep that in your mind.
That's right.
We in 1 Peter 2 and 13.
Right.
Hey, watch yourself there. Verse 13.
Yes, sir.
Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Most High's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors, as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of Yah, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of Yah. Honor all men. Honor all men. Love the brotherhood. Fear Yah. Honor the king.
See, in honor, let's get this understood. It don't mean when Farrakhan walk in, all of us stand up. Oh, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Honor men is just treat men as men. Treat women as women, like how you want to be treated. You know, so when you see a man coming and you honor him, all it is a respect thing. He do this, you do that. You know, if that's the greeting. And good morning, shalom. However it is, it's just a greeting when it's saying your honor, but no, this don't, no way, shape, or form is honor ever in a position of where it says, whoever walk in the room, you bow down to him. Well, that includes you as well then. You a man. Why that don't mean him? Why are we thinking it just mean all the other nations? It said honor all men. And that's just a respect thing. That's all y'all we talking about is respect.
Another way he used to put this, since he used the Farrakhan example, he used to say that if he walked through this door right now, nigga, find your seat back there.
Back there.
You know, you don't get to sit nowhere special. You don't get to come up here, we move out the way. Get your ass a seat back there. That's the straight honor. Put him right in his place.
Right.
Just like we go.
Right. We got home court advantage, player.
But see, and then even on that tip, just like he's saying that, if the president of the United States come into a room, everybody stand up. Not us, but I mean any room. People stand up. But when the Mashiach show up, niggas bow down.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's what it is. So it ain't no respect of persons just because you hold some type of political position. It's just, you know, following the rules, the laws, the statutes, commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
That's what it is.
And if you go to the White House, have a gift with you. Don't go there empty-handed.
Yeah, you better bring a gift.
Can't go see a king with no gift. So, you know, no, dog, I don't care about what he's saying. I let him hit off of this blunt, but I want to talk about something. Don't do it.
Hey, y'all watch a movie? Watch a movie called Last Night. Old boy didn't bring a gift to the ambassador with Morgan Freeman. He didn't bring no gift. And it's not even to the empire. He didn't bring no gift to his minister. Man, chopped his head off. Best to bring a gift coming into this land. Hey, flat out.
Let's finish that up, y'all. We're running short. I got a couple scripts we want to get through.
In verse 18, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward.
So, and a lot of times people are looking at it, that's why I don't read that Bible, because that's right there. Be servant to your slave master who beating the hell out of you. Well, at least first, let's explain why we getting the hell beat out of us and why he's in that position to beat the hell out of us. What happened? What got us here? So until you get that in your mind, now we go to another level of how a servant should be treated. Because Abraham, Eleazar was his servant.
Let me get these precepts.
Get that precept, bro.
Hey, y'all write these down because it swing both ways. Ephesians 6. 8 through 9, let's hit that real quick. And somebody grab Colossians 4 and 1.
I get it. Yeah, go ahead.
Like a brother.
Yes.
Colossians 4 and 1, and then Ephesians 6, 8 through 9.
I got it, yeah. 33. Yeah, 25. 33 and 25, yeah, that's on the surface. Go ahead. No, you get it. Y'all go ahead with what you're doing.
All right, this is the book of Ephesians right here. Ephesians chapter 6. Y'all write these down so you know how to properly answer these things when they come up. Ephesians chapter 6, 8 through 9. How we looking? We there? Ephesians 6, 8, 9. Knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. And ye masters, do the same things unto them, forbearing threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him.
So y'all, you see, whatever they do to you is going to get done to them. So they got a master over them. So he's not putting you in a position to be dogged out. And that's where we'll get the building of black power movements because of certain scriptures like this, because they're not understanding. So they'll grab a couple guns and grab a couple Negroes. They go down to the Army Depot store and buy black boots. And then the next thing you know, they move on you with a powerhouse, and now you have a government job. All the Black Panthers work for the government now.
Yeah,
so
that one Negro call himself Irritated Genie. Y'all look him up on YouTube, Irritated Genie. He's known for trying to incite some type of race war. Man, this Negro makes 6 figures every year working for the FBI. Straight up, look him up, Irritated Genie. He called him for revolution, called him for the killing of white folk, but he worked for the feds. He get paid $150,000 every year. Jake did a video on him last year. The Paid Agents of Israel, and one of his segments was about the Irritated Genie. Look him up, cat. He talking about killing white folks, arm yourselves, get ready, and come to find out he actually worked for the feds. He actually works for them and make $150,000 every year. Like, stop it, man.
Right.
You can't be crazy. You can't be serious with that madness. This is Colossians 4, but I'm going to start up at chapter 3, verse 23 and read down.
Yes, sir.
Colossians 3 and 23, it says, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto me.
Not unto who?
Not unto me.
Right.
Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance. For ye serve the Lord Christ. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there is no respect of person. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven. That's it for that out.
So let's hit right here in the book of Sirach, or in the Apocrypha, chapter 33, hit verse 25 through 31 for me. Because this is the point that where Abraham's relationship was so good with Eleazar, he was treated, even though it was his servant, he was thought that that was the promised son he was going to have instead of Isaac. But you read all through Exodus and people going to come at you, well, y'all had y'all own slaves. Didn't it say this Hebrew man owned slaves? So what y'all talking about? Why y'all mad at us? But there's a difference versus bondage versus indentured servitude, like Jeffrey the butler on Fresh Prince. These people may owe a debt. You may have bailed their family out and they say, I will work for you for this amount for 0 cents an hour. They get room and board. Yeah, they get food. They get everything. Not only that, but if they decide to bring family on, all of that is upon the agreement that they had that you allowed this man to become master over you. You can't change your mind at that point. Contract. It's an agreement that you're doing. You see butlers throughout. These butlers out that are out there, these are indentured servants. Yeah. They pledge their life to basically serve you. So they are under this law that they won't plot on you while you sleep. They can poison you if you ain't treating them right. Go ahead, bro. Read that Ecclesiastes for me.
Ecclesiastes?
Yeah. 33 verse 25.
Because.
Yeah.
In the Sirach, Apocrypha.
3 chapters in the
33, yeah. You got his head?
Let me get that.
33, 25.
Yeah.
25 to 31. So it swings both ways.
Yes, sir.
It swings both ways. It ain't like the masters are set up. And if you got also a problem, look at it like it's your employer. Like, don't you go to work and got an employer, you an employee, you feel me? And you got laws and stuff you got to abide by. So you can continue this type of relationship. That's all it's really talking about. It ain't going into the clan riding herd on you. You feel me? Or the clansmen raping your wife or your children. You're supposed to say, okay, I'm fine with that. You know, it's all good.
Right.
It's just letting it be known. In rulership, there's never no such thing as equal nations. There's always somebody ruling and somebody serving.
That's right.
And that's all it is. And even those that are ruling are set up by the Most High, and they got laws and orders they got to abide by. The Messiah got parables about the unjust steward and those that were ruling unjustly and what's going to happen to them. They're going to get handled for it. You see what I'm saying? So, again, and then also if there's anything passed that goes against the law of your God, you got a right to rebel against that.
That's right.
And stand against that. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just telling you keep the commandments of your God. You're in a position of servitude right now. You ain't got your own land, government, flag, language, army, none of that. You understand? Most of us on food stamps.
That's right.
Most of us on government benefits. So there's rules that you must abide by. It ain't like you done pulled a power move and took this beast down.
Right.
Have you?
Right.
No, so that means you still a servant. I know some of us think we're not slaves anymore, but get that out your mind. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Look at the very money in your pocket. The slave masters are still on the money. The very money you kill each other over.
Right.
The federal debt notes that you kill each other over, your slave master's face and image is still on. So again, I know the Negro feels he's free today, but you're not. You're not. You still depend on his benefits. You still depend on his food stamps. You still depend on his pension, his 401k and everything. So you're still in servitude. Right? You as a people consume more than anybody on the planet. You actually have enough money that passed through the black community to be like the 8th nation on the planet. But you don't produce nothing together as small as a toothpick. We don't produce even a toothpick as a people. We don't produce nothing, no type of hygiene, nothing. You see what I'm saying? So get that out your mind. You're not no slave. Yes, you are. You are still a slave until this very day. It's just rules that you must abide by. You know what I'm saying? I know some things seem like a double standard. How come they can do that and I can't? Ding ding, it ain't go off yet. You still a slave.
Right.
You still tributary.
Right.
You're not equal in their eyes. You're not in the eyes of God. You're above, actually.
Right.
Better, superior. Right? But our time is coming. But as of right now, it ain't no, remember they talking about putting Harriet Tubman on the money. It ain't no tub dubs.
No. They were talking about putting on the 20s, some tub dubs, Harriet Tubman.
Ain't no tub dubs floating around her.
The tub dubs.
Let that paper be short on that job. Or let that paper be short amongst brethren. You don't stop lying. You be ready to get off carnal, bow-legged in the shoulders. He owes you some money, dog.
Right.
He owe you a Federal Reserve debt note that still got your slave master on. And you ready to kill him, your brother, over.
That's right.
But you not a slave.
Right, right.
Yeah, okay, right. Where we at, Hebrew?
We are
Sirach chapter 33, verse 25.
So it swings both ways. Even your masters is held abundant. Especially with them claiming the Bible's the word of God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that don't mean, y'all, that you just turn a blind eye to injustice or anything that's happening. It just letting you know, keep the laws of God while you're in servitude. And for the most part, these heathens won't even bother you. They won't even bother you. We be on the streets teaching sometimes, and police ride by and wave at us.
Yeah.
Like, nah, ain't this black men on the corner reading the Bible. You feel me? They don't stop, and you know, some of them do stop and get an earful. You let them know about the judgment that's coming. You know your people going down, right? Yeah, right. Jesus, yeah. Well, you know, that's one of our big brothers. He coming to redeem us. You going to bondage. Yeah. But even when we read the Bible to them, they be stuck. They be like, wow, he technically ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
I might not like what he said to me, but I'm powerless in doing anything to him. You see, you got the power right in your hands. So it's just letting us know that operate a certain way. The Most High set these nations up to drop them, just like he set up Pharaoh to drop them. He set up Nebuchadnezzar. If you read about the end of Nebuchadnezzar and his sons, they got dropped. The writing on the wall, y'all heard of the writing on the wall? That's Daniel 5th chapter. Nebuchadnezzar's grandson got killed that night for boasting against God. The Israelites didn't have to take them down. The Lord said He gonna write this on the wall. They got scared. They said, call a Hebrew in here. That's some ancient Hebrew. We can't even read that. They pulled Daniel about, you know, the slave quarters. Right. Come on up in here and read that. I'll bless you with all this gold. He said, man, you can keep all that.
Right.
I'm gonna read it anyway. I'm gonna tell you what it says. Your kingdom is done, numbered, and done tonight.
Oh, boy.
Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You got all scared and whatever. It's showing you that even when we in positions of servitude, our God ain't never left us.
That's right.
So it's letting you know later for the so-called black radical, we gonna arm ourselves and take the government over. That ain't never happened. All we gotta do is play our part and stay in our lane and watch your God destroy your enemy.
That's right.
You just gotta make sure you're doing your job. These scriptures don't mean you turn a blind eye to like what happened to Emmett Till or something.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That was evil and them heathens going down. Or when they bombed that church back in Alabama back in the 60s.
Right.
The 4 sisters that was bombed or whatever. Oh, you know, I got to obey my masters. Them scriptures ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
They got nothing to do with that. They got to do with us staying in our lane and serving our God. You understand? And praying. Look, he said vengeance is his. Why you don't pray for vengeance?
That's right.
Why you don't, Lord, you say vengeance is yours. Speedily redeem us and judge this situation, because that was evil what that master did to his servant. You see, and watch your God go into motion. Problem is, you busy praying for butterflies and flowers and candy. You feel me? And not that the Lord defend us.
That's right.
All right, go ahead, El now. Go ahead, Al.
2 Thessalonians 1:6.
Beautiful, beautiful, yes.
See it as a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation through them that trouble you.
See, it's a righteous thing with God to pay back your adversaries. See, you're not your God because you thought your God was a tooth fairy.
That's right.
Somebody that just love everybody. No, if you doing what he say, you can actually ask your God to bring judgment to the situation.
Done it.
And it'll happen.
That's right.
Some of us got personal testimony on it. Being on the job and everything. He even turned red at a stop sign.
Yep.
Because he was coming at you based off your belief in your God.
That's right.
So it just takes for us to get there in our prayers. Stop praying for, you know, I want a Bentley and a 3-story house, and you see your people getting destroyed in the streets. Why you ain't praying, God, you said vengeance is yours. Yep. We are praying that you bring vengeance and bring speedy judgment to this situation.
That's right.
109.
Because we're powerless in this situation. Hear our prayer and accept our petition into your courts, oh God. See, you don't want to pray like that because you've been trained to pray, oh Lord, bless, bless master with more slaves and, rub his back. You ain't praying that the Lord brings judgment to the situation.
Kill him.
You feel me? Because you ain't been taught to do it. When you got power right in your hands, man. Not the word you can go arm up and go kill them yourselves, but you can petition the heavens. And the Lord will play on them mentals and tickle them heart veins or whatever, and then he'll be singing a whole nother tune. Right. For better results. All right, where we at, Hebrew? You got that?
Yeah, ready for the children, for the children's class.
Short-legged class?
Really?
Follow Brother Yakanai over there.
Where you at? Yakanai, raise your hand, brother. Now, you want to speak? You want to say something, brother?
Now y'all come on.
Short-legged? Hey, wait, Malachi up right there. Wait, y'all go ahead, man. Handle y'all business. Hey, man, get on up, let's go.
All right, y'all, let's get it. We're running out of time,
Now, handle y'all business.
You skip the class, little joker.
Don't skip the class.
Go on to class, boy. Handle y'all business. Go on to class. Look at the guy, he got want some fruit. He's eating some fruit. Y'all, come on.
All
right, y'all, let's get it.
We're in Sirach chapter 33, verse 25.
What it say?
Down, y'all, down.
If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest.
See, if you give him a job to do, you're going to be able to rest. Because you ain't going to be spending your time wondering what he doing. Go ahead, bro.
But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty.
Because if he ain't working, he just standing around idle and he's your servant, he like, I need to get away from her. Because it ain't nothing for me to do. He gonna seek liberty. He gonna try to equal himself up to you because he's a servant and he ain't doing anything. You know, so it's kind of trying to instruct us on not to just have somebody always working, but that's his job now. He's a servant. It's like our job with Most High. Our job is to continue to spread this gospel. As a servant, if we go idle with this, what's going to happen to us? All we do is talk about it. Go ahead, brother.
A yoke and a collar do bow the neck. So are tortures and torments for an evil servant.
What kind of servant?
An evil servant.
So y'all, you see what it's for an evil servant. Now you can exceed the wrath like they did, and they exceeded wrath on us and put yokes of iron on us, but those are mostly for runaways, so they say. When a slave tried to get off the plantation, they put that yoke of iron around his neck. You can't lay down on it. It's a round collar with spikes sticking up like that. Y'all seen them. How do you go to sleep with that on? Go ahead, brother.
Send him to labor.
Send him to what?
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. For idleness teacheth much evil.
The what mind is the devil workshop?
Idle.
See, you have those saying, but this is how the scripture worded. Say it again. Read that again.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. For idleness teacheth much evil. Set him to work, as is it fit for him. If he be not obedient, put on more heavy fetters. So
it's saying, look, set him to work as it benefit him. You can't overwork him or have him doing something he can't do. So y'all, get that out your mindset that you're gonna drive him work 22 hours a day. No, if he don't do what you ask him to do, they said put fetters, but what they start doing is killing us. When we wouldn't do what they won't do. Put that whip on the back and just ride you down in the ground. But at that point, you just lost your money maker. If that's what you got them for. Or to even out any debt, you just lost that. Go ahead, bro.
But be not excessive toward any.
Do be what?
Be not excessive toward any. And without discretion, do nothing.
So you just can't have the mindset, even when you have them talking about, when we get the tables turned and we gonna do all of this, we gonna do all of that. You ain't gonna do none of that in the kingdom. No. You ain't gonna beat and chain up black people that had us, Assyrians or white people in the kingdom. Not in that kingdom. That worked for somebody else. You're not going to be excessive in the kingdom of the Most High and then still have them watching your children while you go to the temple. You're going to leave Hitler there watching your children. Hitler won't be there. After you done whooped his mustache off. You gonna leave him right there with your children. You think that, and he better not do nothing when you get back. Yeah, right. You see what we did, don't you? Throughout the slave movies, what we're doing, you think it's gonna be any less? Y'all, but we gotta get a handle on the mindset of a servant and understand these things. They're using words as servant versus slaves and bondage. Two different things, y'all. Totally two different things. Go ahead, brother.
If thou have a servant, let him be unto thee as thyself.
As thy what?
As thyself, because thou hast bought him with a price. If thou have a servant, entreat him as a brother, for thou hast need of him, as of thine own soul. If thou entreat him evil, and he run from thee, which way wilt thou go to seek him?
So, and that's why you got so many Israelites that left America, that's in Canada, the Netherlands and everything, because of evil treatment. They had to get out of here. Harriet Tubman started that, moving them out of there from evil treating servants that's going to get payback that's coming. Y'all, but it ain't going to be in our hands like that to do it, because we ain't going to have righteous indignation about how we deal with these people, because we gonna whoop them about catching me in my evil. That's how we want to whoop police about, yeah, that's one right there, man, pulled them plates off of my car when I was heading to the OJ's concert. Bastard made me miss the concert. I had on them gators. So you want him to be your slave because he made you late for a concert with bad stickers on your car. That's not perfect hatred.
Bad stickers,
you tripping. So y'all, we can't have indignation about wrongdoing that they brought on you, or they brought your wrongdoing out, and you say, I want to get you for exposing my wrongdoing. That's not perfect hatred. That ain't gonna be tolerated nor accepted, or we exactly like who had us in chains. And you're gonna have a kingdom like that. You might as well stay right where you at and not wish for or long or hope for the kingdom to come. If you got the same mindset, because we're gonna be right back in the same position. Your servant is you're gonna have to treat him like a brother. He's gonna be around your children. Isaiah 59, they're gonna be nursing fathers and nursing kings. You think you're gonna have somebody holding that baby and taking care of him while you over here rapping with Abraham and don't trust him? Is he strangling my baby? What my pistol? In the kingdom? Don't make sense, y'all. I just wanted to hit that, y'all, so y'all understand the difference in how you treat a servant as your brother. This is how Abraham treated Eleazar. No doubt. This was indentured servitude. This was not bondage that we face.
Right. Hey, Dan, can I give this to you? Hey, y'all, cry to God for help is Psalms 109, 1 through 20. And it was David's prayer to the Most High to speedily avenge him against his adversaries. So Psalms 109, 1 through 20, something you would pray for, you know, whoever that was that killed Mike Brown, or choked out Eric Gordon, or, you know, these countless atrocities that keep happening to us. A cry to the Most High for help. That's what your prayer would be. It wouldn't be, you know, grant him peace all the days of his life, Lord. And you see blatant violation of God's law, even though he's in a position of authority. They call that being drunk with power.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But you serve the most high power of all powers. So you can submit your spiritual paperwork into his court.
That's right.
You feel me? And pray to him to bring judgment to the situation. And Psalms 109, 1 through 20.
And let me say this, y'all, something very important too, when you read that Luke 17, 1 through 4, and y'all just read that on your own time. You can't forgive somebody unless they repent. So Dylan Roof refused to repent about killing everybody in the church, but they got everybody that's left alive on the news talking about, I forgive him.
Y'all heard that? Y'all remember Dylan Storm Roof? Yeah. That heathen that shot up that church in South Carolina? Sat there like he was praying with the, you know, the congregation. Then unloaded on them. And then not even 24 hours later, you know, they were, oh, we forgive them, because we got to forgive them.
We have to forgive.
But if you read it, his manifesto was on the Daily Mail. I'm not asking y'all to forgive me. I did what I meant to do. So how is you claiming you forgive him And he ain't even admitted to the wrongdoing that he did.
Right. He ain't asking for.
You see how we've been destroyed mentally and spiritually? We've been destroyed. We're not even keeping the rules when it comes to forgiving. Right. You feel me? There's rules to forgiving somebody. Don't they got to admit that they wronged you first?
Right.
Right? Crack some eggs.
That's right.
It's just what it is, man. Everything is not smooth and, you know, fancy soliloquies.
That's right.
Some things you got to deal with it head on and go, hey, that was wrong. Shouldn't have did that.
Go ahead, bro.
They was like, oh my God, I don't want to sit in the hot seat.
Right.
It ain't nothing but for your betterment. Hell nah, what's up, bro?
I almost said my father, you know, I told you he did, you know, he called me about that. And I sent him that Luke 17, and he read it and told me, I missed him before, and remember he called me about it, I showed him that. He said you got to stop teaching that.
Yeah.
He said he was going to stop teaching that?
No, he said he was teaching that just to give everybody.
Yeah, right.
We was talking about it like months ago, and you remember I was showing him Luke 17 back then, it was registered, but he was trying to teach the class again though, and he called me about it.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
There you go. All right, at least you got open dialogue with your father, man. That's what's up. Use out. What's up, bro?
So do you forgive a person, like say if a person steals from you, right? And then you forgive them, right? But
after you rebuke them, you rebuke them.
You did, and then they do it again. Can you forgive a person over the same thing over and over?
They didn't repent.
They didn't repent.
About 7 times 7.
Yeah, so look. But look, it's like this. Don't even put them in the same situation.
Right.
Yeah, that's where you got
like to forgive them, like look, that don't mean you got to deal with them the same way either. Like say he stole your wallet, he in your house, right? You ain't bust his head to the white meat or nothing. You rebuked him, right? Man, my bad, bro. I shouldn't have did that. What you doing letting him back in your house?
Can't come to my house no more.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even on you supposed to not put him in a situation to even do that to you no more.
Or to check and see if he was sincere and lay your wallet right there. Bro, them tacos work me over. I'm going to go to the bathroom. It usually take me about 30 minutes. And leave your wallet right there. You can't set him up that way to test if he truly repent. That's entrapment. Go ahead, bro.
Like if somebody steals something from you, then say you stole something from them. It makes it seem like you stole something, but they stole something from you.
Say again.
Like somebody steals something from you, but they'll say you stole something from them.
Oh, try to make it even.
Yeah.
Well, you stole from me 2 years ago. You know, so that's payback, right? That's rendering evil for evil because you're saying both of us are thieves now.
Right, because you got to put yourself in a situation that you just broke that commandment, thou shalt not steal. You did that on your own. He did that against you, but you didn't do it. But then when you do it back, you say just as guilty because you broke the commandment.
Right.
Yeah, don't put him in a position to even do it.
Right.
So for me, you won't never be in a position, you won't even get that close to me no more.
Right. It's called feeding them with a long handled spoon at that point.
I love you, bro. It's all good.
Right.
But you'll never be back in the crib.
No, not like that. You know, been feeding you, been doing all of this, and then you do that. Look, I'll forgive you. You know, he's like, man, I'll never do that to again. Okay, I'm gonna help you out with that. Huh?
Stay away from them time. Because you know it's more to it. They allow you and they did something to you, but they allow you you did something.
Well, you know that's the hustle game, that's street logic, the street, you know, how do you get down in the streets? But when we talking about these scriptures, it say when you turn the other cheek, that's simply, man, I'm giving you a pass on this one. Right. I'm gonna turn this cheek. But if I do this again and you wound me again on this other side, then now the choice is either I'm a sucker for pain and punishment, or I don't understand how to deal with my brothers. The 70 times 70 don't mean the same sin. Yeah. I can't let you steal from me 490 times.
Right. I won't have nothing left.
Because it's different situation. He may do something later on down the line, 5 years later, but it won't be stealing. But because we all in the same place, something may happen again. It ain't gonna be no perfect relationship throughout. It's just that people that have been knowing that have friends for a long time, they say, you know, and we done had a couple run-ins, they tell you, but we sat down and we talked about it. And we still friends to this day. That's how you end up doing it, but it don't mean that once you forgive them, don't mean that same individual, unless this same individual is starting to do it to other people, then you got to get away from him. So you don't have to hurt that individual.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
You ain't by no means are called to be a sucker.
Yeah.
We got
the what?
Like that humility when you do that, avoid a situation just so you don't have to do that to them.
Yeah, humility.
That's humility.
Yeah, wisdom too.
I was going to say, it's also
wisdom, discretion, and all that. Hosea got something, I'm coming to you, G. He been had his hand up. Go ahead, Hosea.
It's just, and we're just talking about forgiveness. It's crazy. So this, he has to ask for forgiveness for me to even forgive him, right? But at the same time, me getting over what somebody do to me, it's me attacking those feelings about malice and anger that arise from me.
Right.
Me not being upset when I think about it, when I see this person.
Right.
You know, because, you know, I feel like the Lord was that. You know what I'm saying? What do that way as far as forgiveness is concerned?
That's why the rebuking that's why your part of the situation is to bring it, put it on notice. Put him right on notice. I know what you did to me and that was evil, bro. You feel me? Now our situation will never be that tight ever again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that itself is supposed to convict his spirit to where he's like, hey man, my bad, bro.
I was low down.
You feel me? I was lower than a footprint on that one.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. You feel me? Now at that point, you gotta check your spirit. You ain't like if every time you come around, hear this Stephen and MF again. You feel me? You still ain't right within yourself.
Right. You gonna make
see what I'm saying? Because you gotta go ahead and let that go. That don't mean you stop watching or you be a sucker or nothing like that, right? But you put him on notice. That spirit is checked. He humbled down and was like, you know what? Yeah, I was wrong on that. You see what I'm saying? Now, Satan at you, because he like, in your mind, like, look, here he come again. Look at him.
Yep.
He no good. Yep. You feel me? And so that's on you to be on some now, get about my mind. You know what I'm saying? I have to really, from my heart, forgive a brother.
Right.
Because he got put on blast and he understands he did me wrong.
But what if he done? What if he denies the wrong and you know he did?
There ain't no forgiveness. Ain't no
There you go.
forgiveness.
Right.
Ain't no forgiveness until it's resolved.
Exactly.
That's my crib.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Thomas.
You answered everything. So do I still keep company with him?
No,
if you don't, there you go.
Well, you're not called to be no sucker.
Right.
That is everybody understanding. The scripture don't tell you, don't condone you being some simp or some sucker.
Right.
You feel me? Thank you, sir. May I have enough?
Right.
Turn another.
Right. You understand?
Right.
But when it comes down to sincerely forgiving your brother when he admit he did wrong, then guess what? You got to go ahead and let that go. That's how many times the Lord forgave you for doing wrong.
And you still.
do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just called for us to look at the bigger picture, man. You know what I'm saying? And self-examine what it really is about. Mama, you got something over here?
Yeah, you said that we're not supposed to keep company with those that do us wrong, but the Lord keep company with us, like you just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so, okay, so if you keep getting robbed, you gonna keep company with them?
Well,
exactly, come on.
Well, see,
you not only use common sense with it.
Right.
The Lord strictly talking about forgiving. You see what I'm saying? He ain't telling you to be a sucker about what you got going on or to be dumbfounded and clueless. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the Lord forgive you, but guess what he told you what he gonna do? I'm gonna go back to my place until you acknowledge you done did wrong. You see what I'm saying? You have to acknowledge you done did wrong for the Lord to forgive you. He don't just automatically forgive you. Oh, that's my God. I know he's going to forgive me. Right. No, you got to admit, Lord, I've been lower than a footprint. I've been lower than that snake in the garden.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Please forgive me for my transgressions, because if I continue on this path, I'm going to burn forever.
Right.
You feel me? Right. Just in your confession, you're going to start self-checking yourself every time before you do something that's against the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So he won't cut you off, but it's a part on your part where you got to play and be on some, look, nah, I'm not doing that no more. You have to confess to him. How comfortable you going to be confessing to the Lord about all these closet iniquities that you've been doing for 40 years?
Right.
You feel me? At some point, you have to, what, self-check and correct yourself. Yep. All right? So your repentance will be what? Sincere and accepted before the Lord.
That's right.
Any other questions? We good? Come on.
Let's roll, y'all.
So once again, you forgive them, that means you ain't gotta keep company with him. I can forgive you and still be your brother, but that don't mean I can't.
Of course, you ain't got to buddy old pals to the deep.
Right. To me, but every time I let you close to me, you burn.
So you got every right to control your cipher, to control who you got around you, man. Because somebody say shalom don't mean they square. You feel me? Or they 100 out here.
That went back to you. The first day I came in this class, you said, hold up, bro. Just because he sit right here and he say, Lord, Lord, I read this or I attend here.
Right.
Watch out.
That's right.
And the main thing is,
I mean, just really is, man. You have to buddy your pals when somebody is intentionally or flagrantly getting over on you.
Or trying to use this.
Right.
But to forgive me, you ain't got no malice in your heart toward it.
But I mean, I don't hold nothing. I don't let it go 2 steps. I'm saying, you trying to use this to use me.
Well, that's Slick Willie.
There you go.
That's what the devil do.
right.
Sir.
That's what the devil do.
Let's get it, y'all. We got about 30 minutes, y'all. We got to get out. Okay. Go ahead, Sid.
I was just going to say, mainly that's how we've been taught, you know, forgive people and, you know, forgive them for yourself, basically. But the reality of it is you bringing it to them and letting them know that that was wrong.
That's
a lot of
right.
people don't do that.
Right.
They be feeling some type of way of feeling hurt or feeling this because you won't never, you know, confront that person about this situation.
Exactly. Right.
So it ain't really even about forgiving. It's just about you confronting them and, you know, putting it on first street, letting them know what you know.
Yeah, and he said, they get the mouth.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Because it could lead you to sin.
He said, put it on
You plotting on it.
Absolutely.
That's the point. Because it's funny because I was going to say something like that is that if y'all want examples of putting it out there, that's all them shows. All they do is sit around on the couch and talk about how wrong you did me. And it's a whole TV show.
Well, it ain't no forgiveness in that.
You did it wrong first. I'm doing you wrong back. That's all they talk about.
Yeah. Because the rules of the Most High is not at play.
Exactly.
So forgiveness is looked from a whole nother perspective. That's what y'all got to understand. This is supreme. It tells you what's going to bring peace if you forgive according to this way. If he stole from you, it tells the man, let him steal no more. First of all, he's like, man, I was just hungry. I was suffering. Man, I didn't know what to do, man. I saw your wallet there, man, and I knew you was going to be in the bathroom at least 30 minutes. I got you, dog. If he say that, forgive him. But it's your job after that to see how soon before you even allow him back into your home or put him, and the main thing is to put him in a position to harm you again. It's that you got to be concerned with you. If I allow him to do that, the next option is I got to kill him. If I got to kill him, then here come all this drama behind me now for this that I let right back in my house. So that's the whole thing. You got to do it from a perspective, Lord. You know, I hate to cut him off, but he has to be cut off. And people know when you cut them off about what they done to you. You ain't got to keep calling them and telling them, yeah, no good. You ain't got to keep doing all of that. When you cut off and you speak to somebody when you see them, and then you go on your way, and they trying to say something, you like, hey, all right, bro, you know, I got to get on out of here, got to holler at you. They know in their spirit right there, I wronged him, and they're trying to figure out a way how to come back and do it. But if they don't repent into you, you don't allow them to come back in. If you allow them to come back in, that's on you. Because that's what they may be up to. They may start to see you as a simp. He got that Bible. He have to forgive me.
He's a mark.
He's a mark. Not if I done read Luke 17, 1-4. You ain't getting that over. So y'all, this is the instructor so that street justice don't come in and it makes you or forces you to hurt or kill somebody.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Because in the streets, they forced to kill everybody in the pool. Because if you don't kill them, they're going to tell them.
They're going to get you.
Only for game. If they don't get you, they'll tell them. They can shoot at you and you in a position you can't tell. But if you shoot at them and they don't die, they don't go to court with a suit on.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we understand the street game and how it rules. But in court, they are still basing it all off of this. Your actions. How you responded to what he did to you. And then what did you do? When you saw him about a football field away, why did you aim that AR-15 at him? He was still a threat at that point?
You can't be more than 20 feet away.
Right. So y'all, we understand they still gonna come back to this, y'all, but we gonna move on because we got about a few more scriptures before we get out of here.
Psalms 109, verse 1.
You were just gonna throw that out?
No, I just throwing it out there.
Yeah, because that's 20 verses. Yeah, hit this Romans chapter 9. Y'all, we're going to hit a couple dealing with this situation of Israel and the forgiveness. I tell you what, let's just jump right to that. Exodus chapter 2, verse 11 through 15. And then give me Jasher 71 up on the board. Y'all, we're going to get right to the heart of that conversation we just had. Exodus chapter 2. We're going to come back to that Roman. I just want to get to the heart of the matter of the conversation we just had because we like to have the scriptures do examples for us.
All right, then, so what I'm giving you?
And you're going to give me the book of Jasher, chapter 71. And we're going to read a couple verses in that. Because it's going to explain it, chapter 2, verse 11 through 15. And this is a situation with Moses and an Israelite and someone of another nation. And this is about forgiveness or somebody helping you out and somebody turn their back on you, your own brother. But we have to go into Jasher to list everything that was involved with that situation because the lost books deal with day-to-day events and it fill in the blanks. So we're going out after we read that, we're going to go to the book of Jasher that's mentioned in Joshua 10:13, 2 Samuel 1:18, and 2 Timothy 3:8 tell us to study out of this book. All you have to do is check it for law breaking. If there's no laws breaking, it's good because this is a summary. These go into day-to-day details, but this has to match this. All of what's in here still, this so to speak, because it's giving a general overview, but this go into the detail of what make you scratch your head. You're like, I wonder what that really was about. This will clear it up. So we're going to hit this as an example of the same situation we was talking about, y'all, and then we got about 2 or 3 more scriptures we're going to close out.
What chapter of Jasher is that?
71. We're going 2 and 11 right now.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass.
How we looking, y'all, there?
I ain't getting no paper. That's why I started reading.
Let's get it.
And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens.
Read it again.
And looked on their brethren.
Read that over. Read it. Start it over.
And call it out too.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren.
So Moses is in position of power at this point. Moses is hierarchy and have been raised as the Pharaoh's grandson. So he go out and he looking at the children burning. That always bothered him that he was living in royalty and he saw them in the mud pit. So he went out and he looked and he looking at their burning. He like, boy, my people getting tore up. You know, so he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew. And what's the next verse? One of his what? Brother. Right. So we getting the connection here of what he saw. Go ahead, bro.
And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together.
Now it's 2 Hebrews scrapping. Go ahead.
And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known.
Now, what was Moses truly fearing? His own brother gonna rat him out. Right. See, It wasn't no other Egyptian that came with this. This your own people, and now he's ready to rat you out. Oh, so you want to break us up? Oh, Mr. Judge. How about killing that Egyptian the other day? But he didn't even acknowledge what happened when Moses had to put that Egyptian down. That Egyptian, that would be like a slave master beating somebody, and you like, he gonna kill him, and you just say, I got to go for broke on this one. I'm killing that slave master today. He's not gonna do this to this individual. And you kill him, but at that point, you know I got to head north. At this point, I got to head north. But what verse was you? Did you finish 15?
Yeah, no, I'm on 15.
Go ahead, hit verse 15.
Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well.
So we're going to get into Jasher 71 so y'all truly understand what the beef was about, truly, and why they were scrapping and what happened. Why Moses truly put that Egyptian down, y'all, because it was some wicked thing. As soon as we read it, y'all going to understand it from, what's that movie that we just had with Whoopi Goldberg and Forrest Whitaker, the Butler. The one scene with old girl getting raped, Mariah Carey. So we're going to see a situation here. Go ahead, Jasher 71, who got it? You got it. It's up on the board. You got him there. Stretch him out, bro. Hold on just a second. We're going to get it up here on the board and stretch it out. Who is on?
Zeb got it.
Yeah,
who I say?
You said Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I didn't even see the movie and couldn't remember her being in it.
Right. I knew it had some with some Harpo flavor on it.
Strange fruits.
My bad, man.
You could probably type it in there. Where you at? What chapter you on?
Yeah, don't even tell me. Remember last one I typed it in pop up. I should be close though.
You in Sasso Zeppo, so you in. That's 12. 1 second, y'all. No, it ain't pulling it offline. Shouldn't be pulling it offline. You should be on. Ain't you in on them in that Bible books?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to let me type it in though.
Okay. What?
Should be it right here.
Go on up. Yeah. 41. Keep on going. Get through that chapter. Yeah. The next chapter should tell you what that chapter is coming up. Chapter 80, so you gotta go back, 71. Just put your cursor right about, yeah, going back. Well, you have just 70 something. He was right there in the 70s. Well, for time's sake, y'all, we'll go ahead and read.
74.
71, you almost there. We'll tarry for you.
Down to 71.
71 verse 1.
Looking familiar.
68, yeah. Yeah. Just let it scroll, just let it scroll,
Not
yeah.
my fault, brother.
I ain't say what. I'm just laughing.
He's in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
See, actually, that down arrow would technically do by pages, but just keep on going real quick, yeah.
Should be about it, isn't it?
Yeah, let's stop it right here. Alright, what's this right here?
Up a little
Go
bit.
down one. 70, one more chapter.
Okay, one more chapter, yeah. What's that talking? Yeah.
That's your grandbaby.
Live. She live.
What you talking about, Wumpa? Huh? What's the deal? Okay, y'all. We right there now. Stretch it out a little bit.
51?
51 verses.
No, I just want you to read 1 through 9.
No, it's 51 verses.
It's
60
yeah, it's 51 verses.
Okay.
It's 71.
At least y'all know this ain't scripted.
Yeah, that should be right after that. Oh, we go.
Right there. Okay, now stretch him out where everybody can see down there. That's good. Yeah.
We all good.
Now, y'all, this is a day-to-day account of what we just read in Exodus 2. And let's see how, now, what we're listening for is make sure everything lines up like it should. There's no law breaking in this or going against the story of what we read in the 1611. Go ahead, who got that? Go ahead.
Book of Jasher, chapter 71, verse 1.
Right.
And when Moses was 18 years old.
How old was he?
18 years old. He desired to see his father and mother. And he went to them in Goshen.
See, he went to them in Goshen. So see how we getting into the story. Now we know how old Moses was at this point. 18 years old at this point. And he said, I miss my mom and my dad today in the hood. Go ahead.
And when Moses had come near Goshen, he came to a place where the children of Israel were engaged in work. And he observed their birds.
Then we just read the same thing. Moses looking at their birds. Go ahead.
And he saw an Egyptian smiting one of his Hebrew brethren. And when the man who was beaten saw Moses, he ran to him for help. For the man Moses was greatly respected in the house of Pharaoh. And he said to him, My Lord, attend to me. This Egyptian came to my house in the night, bound me, and came to my wife in my presence. And now he seeks to take my life away.
So you see, this is the whole deal. This is what made Moses slay that man. Because he like, what? You know, because you picture this. The man running to him out of breath. Moses in his full regalia. Everybody else been told Moses is second to Pharaoh. Don't y'all challenge Moses. So even though they were Egyptians, they understood what position Moses was in. So he run up to him, he like, man, last night he came in, man, tied me up and raped my wife right in front of me. Now y'all, you wanna, but we keep our eyes focused on what white folks done. These are black folks, these Hamites doing the same thing. Hell, they've been doing this way before we got here to America. This was the first 400-year run that they was doing them type of thing. Just busting through the door. Get out of here, Hebrew, I want your woman. I want to have my way as Shechem did. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
And when Moses heard this wicked thing.
What did he hear?
This wicked thing.
Right.
His anger was kindled against the Egyptian. And he turned this way and the other. And when he saw there was no man there, he smote the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And delivered the Hebrew from the hand of him that smote him.
Now we got another in-house problem with what goes down. Like you watch slave movies and you say, he couldn't have done that to me, I'd have had to die. He'd have came in there and raped my wife, me and him would have been dead. These situations existed in black ancient Egypt back in the day too, with the same situation, because this sister had brothers. And they asking him, man, how you stand there and let that Hamite do that to our sister? I know it's your wife, but you didn't do nothing. It was some beef about that, but keep reading, we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the Hebrew went to his house, and Moses returned to his home, and went forth, and came back to the king's house. And when the man had returned home, he thought of repudiating his wife, for it was not right in the house of Jacob for any man to come to his wife after she had been defiled.
Right.
And the woman went and told her brothers. And the woman's brothers sought to slay him. And he fled to his house and escaped.
So he come back, he like, well, I can't take you. She say, you coward son of a... I'm going to tell my brothers about this. You not only let them rape me, but now you don't want nothing else to do with me. Even do it like David did his 10 concubines when Absalom went into him. He took care of them for the rest of their life. He never touched them again, but they had to live as widows, but he set them up. They didn't want for nothing. They didn't need nothing. but they had to live as widows because of what his son had done. And right here, he gonna repudiate just like, well, you know what the law say, I can't be with you no more. She like, Negro, for all I'm concerned, you may have set that up. I'm going to tell my brothers, like you do today, sisters. I'm going to tell my brothers. Go ahead, read some more.
And on the second day, Moses went forth to his brethren, and he saw, and behold, 2 men were quarreling. And he said to the wicked one, why dost thou smite thy neighbor? And he answered him and said to him, who has set thee a prince and judge over us? Dost thou think to slay me as thou didst slay the Egyptian? And Moses was afraid, and he said, surely this thing is known. And Pharaoh heard of this affair, and he ordered Moses to be slain. So Yahweh sent his angel, and he appeared unto Pharaoh in the likeness of a captain of the guard. And the angel of the Lord took the sword from the hand of the captain of the guard, and took his head off with it. For the likeness of the captain of the guard was turned into the likeness of Moses.
Wow.
And the...
What's up, bro?
That's what it throws me off. So did he turn it, did the angel make himself look like the captain, or did he make the dead captain look like Moses? So when he brought up there, they thought he killed Moses.
Read it again.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And the angel of the Lord took the sword from his hand, from the hand of the captain of the guard,
right,
and took his head off with it. For the likeness of the captain of the guard was turned into the likeness of Moses.
Right. Second one, Hebrew. Go ahead, you read that next verse.
And the angel of the Lord took hold of the right hand of Moses and brought him forth from Egypt, and placed him from without the borders of Egypt, a distance of 40 days' journey.
So basically, it was angels intervened, the same situation that happened with Jacob. When Esau was about to get him, Genesis 32nd chapter, when you read like the 31st chapter, you get down to it, Jacob was concerned about Esau's division he had when he hollowed in his thigh. And then when you read the 33rd chapter of Genesis, it go right into an angel, that same angel was there and confronted Esau the same way. So it ain't like we're going into a boogeyman book when the same thing is happening here about same situation, and it's fear of somebody, and an angel is manifesting himself as somebody else and take care of that problem for you. So y'all, a lot of times all we have to do is pray, and he will send his angel to handle all of these issues for us. But we want to take a lot of things into our own hands and try things our own self, which gonna lead to more turmoil. So one thing, what it looks like is when the angel took the head of the captain of the guard off, they thought Moses was dead. At least that silenced the hunt for Moses. Because as long as we know Moses is dead, the Pharaoh ain't hunting for him now. It's the same way when the Messiah had to go down into Egypt until Pharaoh was dead. I mean, not Pharaoh, Herod. They would say he dead, you can return now. Moses ended up returning too. So y'all, in like manner, because they are mirroring the same situation throughout our captivity. But just wanted to show y'all that how, in a sense, we are worst enemies. Now, he helped a brother out there too fighting, they don't want to help. They actually was going to turn Moses in. Can y'all believe that about a situation right here? And two brothers squat. He like, man, y'all hold that down, man. Y'all Israel.
Right.
Nigga, you wasn't saying that when you killing Israel. Yeah. So y'all, this is what we consistently talking about of why. Now, who was calling the police in on that one? Hebrews was going to tell on Moses.
Right.
This was Hebrews going to tell on Moses. Yeah, we're going to put you down. So y'all, let's just hit these last couple scriptures, y'all. We out of here because we're at the quarter till hour. Right.
Y'all write down, I'm sorry, I was a little slow in the draw, but y'all write down Matthew 12 and 29. And this is the first, what we just read in Jasher is the example of this Matthew 12 and 9. I'm going to read first that y'all actually see this scripture.
12 and 9.
Matthew 12. Verse 29.
What is that concern, bro?
It says, or else how can one enter a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his goods. So now we've read the scripture, you know, notice, but here's the example of it. That Egyptian broke in his crib and bound him and tied him up and raped his woman.
That's right, he took over.
But you have to. Which one of y'all gonna let somebody come in y'all house?
Exactly. And just sit there and
watch.
watch.
You wait for a minute to catch a tripping. So they gotta tie you up. They gotta bind you. Right. There's no other way they can run you out. I ain't letting it happen.
And see, and the law that he was saying I shouldn't have took her back. He could have took her back because she was raped. It wasn't like she just went aside and allowed this man to do that. It's the same way when David's first wife was given to this other man and she was promised to David. David went and got his wife and the man was still following behind like a puppy. You know, David said, hey, you didn't have what little bit of fun you had. This my wife. So he took her back. If not, you have to answer, why was David allowed to do that? If you can't take him back. And you know, she was with this other man, but she was with him by default because the king actually took her from David and gave her to another man. But David, after Saul was killed, he went and got his woman. And straightened that situation out. Did he continue on life with her? It tells you, he told the man, your fun is over. What little bit of run you had, get going. She back with the rightful ruler, you know. So you have to be careful when you're saying that you can't take it back. The law say if she marries somebody else and they have a ceremony and she gets divorced from him, you can't take her back at that point. But now we're talking about rape right here.
Like Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she'd have been married twice since that. According to the law, he can't take her back. But they right back into negotiating or rekindling right now. That's what the newspaper's saying. They back at it, you know, trying to see if they can rekindle. Well, all it's going to be is just on the other side of midnight. Was I as good? Or I must have been. Because you back to me. So now we just going to have infighting, wars, and adultery. What this other thing was. So y'all, we ain't got long. Let's move on. Go ahead.
I was going to question, like, the scripture say that the Egyptian tied his wife. You know what I'm saying? The scripture said he tied him up.
It say he bound him, yeah.
It said he bound him.
Yeah, it said he bound him, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we got him. He just came in, whatever move he did, could have had some boys with him, put them pistols on him and told him, you know, hold your hand back. He's like, hey, what's this? What's this?
Oh, what is this?
You know, it's good it wasn't like in the movie Mandingo, because when the slave master came in there, Mandingo said, Master, you gave her to me. You said she's mine. He said, I don't want her. I want you. He's like, wait a minute, master. So, hey, let's get this, y'all. What you got, Mandingo? Kenny Norton starring in it. You'll see a scene where the slave master going down to the quarters, how they used to do. He went into the Ken Norton's man, and he looking over there at her. She laying in the bed, and Ken Norton ain't got no shirt on. But Ken thinking he coming for the woman, but he's fixated on Ken Norton's chest.
Yes, he was a sodomite.
Yeah, he was a sodomite. So he's looking at him. He's like, Master, you said you gave her to me. She's my wife. He said, I ain't here for that skank. I'm here for mankind.
Oh, boy.
Time to rebel, huh?
Yeah. Right. So was he the turn around and handle that business? No, at this point, at the hour of temptation, you got to call on them angels of the Lord to bust his heart immediately.
At that point, he's going against your God.
Right.
You ain't got to obey him.
Hold it down, y'all. We got to move on because we got these couple of scripts. Go ahead, Josiah. Mandingo.
There was a movie similar like that too.
Drum, he in both of them, Mandingo and Drum, part 1 and 2 with Kenny Norton.
Bible time?
Yeah, that's
Bible time.
The who?
The Bible time.
Oh, Goodbye Uncle Tom. Yeah, that's the most graphic slave movie ever put out.
Banned in America.
Banned in America. If y'all want to see Deuteronomy 28 in the most horrific version ever, they banned it out of America.
Yep.
It's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. If y'all ain't seen that yet, y'all gonna see some Joel 3, a boy turned to a harlot. They got little boys dressed up with glitter and makeup on them, and thirsty sodomites can't wait to get at it. Joel is breaking it down what they doing to our young boys and selling a girl for wine as a harlot. Cognac, 1830, give me that wench there. I mean, y'all won't see why America banned it. Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
It was made by the French. Right. So they didn't have the biasness. They were the outside people looking in, and they made it. Because if America made it, it would have been just watered down.
Indentured servitude.
That bad.
That was apprenticeship.
Right, right.
Slavery was your apprenticeship.
Right.
I think you can look it up on
Yeah, it's out there on YouTube. Yeah, it's out there.
I got it.
We got some DVD. But y'all, let's move on. Luke chapter 12, verse 58, 59. Y'all, we're going to hit these last 4, and we're going to close out. Because I need to hit a couple in Daniel of how Daniel dealt with this back in the day so we understand of how you have to deal with the powers that's been set over you by the Most High. Y'all, and y'all gonna have people saying, see, that's that white man's doctrine that got y'all bowing down like this. Then what do you offer to get them off our backs? What you got? Just tell us what you got. And then you'll find out, see, we can carry guns, and you go into their laws. Wait a minute. They'll change that tomorrow, like they did the Panthers. They changed the laws of them carrying guns, so the next day they're like, oh, that changed when y'all was sleeping. So what do y'all offer to take down this champion, the only one on planet Earth ever dropped nuclear? And it still has its effects today. Now they have thermonuclear. I'm talking about burn the eyes out of your head and burn up everything within a 400-mile radius. Just a 2 kiloton about this big. Drop in Kansas City, we got 30 minutes to make peace with your loved ones. Before that radiation sweep down through here. 30 minutes in Kansas City, that's just a 2 kiloton. One of them is equivalent to 250 what they dropped on Japan. That big, 250 times the power of what they dropped on Japan. That big, you can put it in a suitcase. That big, and they say Russia lost 40 of them. How do you lose 40 suitcase-sized nuclear warheads?
Yeah, shoot your AK at them.
Let's get it, y'all. Right. Luke chapter 12, verse 58, 59, and then just put me up Sirach chapter 8. Y'all, this is some very warfare strategy when we told to be in this kingdom, build your houses and stuff, but the Most High say, don't think it's permanent. I'm coming to get y'all. Don't y'all worry about it, but there's a time limit. See, we look at time like the Most High is on a 24-hour clock. He's called the Ancient of Days. And when y'all understand day 1 in Genesis, he's ancient to that. When you talk about, I'm talking about ancient to day 1 that we read about in here, he's ancient to that. Right. So his time is not like our time. 400 for him is maybe 2 seconds. So we have to get it in our mind, we may be here a minute. Or maybe not. It could end tomorrow. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
Luke chapter 12, verses 58 and 59. When thou goest with thine adversary to the magistrate, as thou art in the way, give diligence that thou mayest be delivered from him, lest he hail thee to the judge.
Lest he do what?
Hail thee to the judge.
Right.
And the judge deliver thee to the officer, and the officer cast thee into prison. I tell thee that thou shalt not depart thence till thou hast paid the very last mite.
So we see in a condition that you have to be careful how you maneuver in this nation, because they are set up to basically railroad you once you come in there to take a plea deal. Any type of deal, so all we need is to put you into captivity. 80% of Hebrews locked up are locked up on plea deals. Yeah. And once they out, we'll let you go home today, or we'll do this. We'll cut that by 1,000. Or you can take it to trial and face life. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Gotta get that plea. So that plea, partner.
Even though you know you ain't this. Some people say, well, you got to do what y'all got to do, but I'm not gonna plead guilty to that. you know, and they are ready to sit. But some say, hey, look, it's too much for me to go through this. We'll do this. I'll work this out with the Most High. It'll get back at them because it's corrupt anyway, what they doing, how they trying to hold you. The Most High straighten that out. But it means you got to be wise as a serpent. You got to think like they think. But don't harm yourself first. If you harm you, you can't help nobody else. So you got to always walk in a position that where everybody's dependent on me. I need to make the moves I need to get back on them blocks and do what I got to do. So y'all, in Messiah showed us, he said, sometimes you got to keep your mouth closed. Like when Pilate was saying what he did, until Pilate crossed the line and started talking about his power, that's when the Messiah said, wait a minute. You actually think you in charge for real. You don't know about prophecy. I'll call a legion of angels right now and turn all of this out. But that ain't in the prophecy. I can't do that. Just so you know, Pilate, you ain't in charge of nothing. Let's read some more. Where we at? That was it. Give me Sirach chapter 8, verse 12 through 15. You up there out of the Apocrypha or Ecclesiastes. Y'all, it's just warfare, and then we're going to hit Matthew 5:25 and hit this Daniel, y'all, we be out. Wanted to hit that Acts 5 or where Peter and them got locked up too, and it came to the line crossing time. Acts 5:25, but we'll put them on the board. That when they said, look, when they tell y'all, you can't teach the Bible no more, y'all, we at the door. Understand we are at the door at that point. It's time to get your house in order.
That's any day, right?
That could be any day now. Because with these rogue Israelites out here going crazy, we're getting put on the hate watch group every day.
That's right.
Every day, y'all, with the foolishness that's going on out there on the street corner.
You did Matthew 5 what?
No, we're going to hit that first. We're going to hit Sirach. Who got it? I got it, Lex.
He called Matthew 5:25.
No, I'm going to come to that. I'm coming to that.
He called out streets. That's all he's saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's trying to write down back to back.
Yeah.
All right. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 12.
How you looking up there, Lex?
All right. Lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself, for if thou lendest him, count it but lost.
See, you basically just gave that money away. If it's somebody mightier than you, for one, why is he coming to ask you for some paper? It's best you say, like Debo came, you know, it's best you put your chain down and everything.
What you got on my 40?
What you got on my 40, yeah. So in that perspective, somebody mightier than you, you cannot loan them anything because you know that ain't getting back. You got to count that as a loss. Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
13. Be not surety above thy power.
Be not what?
Surety above thy power. For if thou be surety, take care to pay.
And basically, surety is explaining, don't be a co-signer unless you're sure you can pay the whole debt.
Vouching.
That's vouching for whatever the situation was. And like we get this twisted about being, oh, he made me the godmother or I'm the godfather. Do y'all understand exactly what that means?
Right.
Everything that they had planned for that child, with you being a surrogate or a God-like figure surrogate, you're saying I would do exactly for what those parents had planned for that child. If he was to go to Harvard, you got to get some money to get him to Harvard. If you plan on having an Escalade, get that money ready too. Whatever they parents, before you take that on, you have to understand this is just not a title to be thrown around. God parent or godmother, godfather. Yeah. John, the disciple that loved the Messiah, became a godson to Christ's mother Mary. When she was weeping, he like, behold thy son, mother. Behold, son, thy mother. Take care of my mama till this business over. And I'll take care of the rest. I'll take care of you when I come back. And John took on that responsibility to take care of, because Joseph was dead at this point. John, his beloved friend, watched his mama as a godson. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. Go not to law with the judge.
Do what?
Go not to law with a judge.
Right.
For they will judge for him according to his honor. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow.
See, so basically what it's saying is they gonna end up siding because they in a fraternity.
Right.
So if you go to law with them, they gonna end up siding with the judge because it's their fraternity. And one thing, they ain't gonna let you outdo their judge. It's the same thing in Israel. It's the same thing. If you go to law with them, you gonna lose at this point. Now you can talk a different game, but if the people see you banging like this, all the people say, ooh, he's disrespectful. You may be slamming it right on point, but even though you may be dead right, guess who they gonna side with? With him.
That's why you see those, the cases where those college students are always being brought up on charges of rape, and when they go to court, the judge like, well, she had on too tight pants. Let them go. They're in that fraternity. Anybody else commits a rape, they go to jail for life. But if you're in a fraternity and you commit a rape on a college campus, they always get off light. Always.
As long as it ain't a white woman. So that's the difference. But what we're talking about here is the establishments, the bailiffs, those who make the final decision, and where it say like this, they'll just say, if he say, well, no, I feel this, and you say, well, no, I feel that, they're going to side with him like your family will side with the preacher if you come in there to break it down. The preacher may say some things and you are busting the preacher's head, but guess what they decide? Well, yeah, that's cute you doing that. Yeah. But see, Pastor Earl been in this a long time, and he was my mama's pastor. They will side with him, and he quoted one scripture. No. All he been doing is telling you, he go into a preaching mode on you, like that boy was out there dealing with. Let me tell you about my life. See, and then they ready for that. Go on, tell them about your life, Pastor.
Yeah, you ain't ready for that.
Tell me about this.
And so you'll be ready to shake the dust from your feet because they sided with him. That's the way it goes. They are used to their group, and so when you come in there, you have to lay it on the line and cut, like Hebrews 4:12 say, cut down to the marrow of the bone. You got to cut asunder to where if they do that and you leave, all of them gonna be looking at each other. Who got the band-aids? Shit, that boy cut me cross here too. My neck cut right here. Let them think about that after you leave, but this is what it's telling. It's just strategic warfare in captivity. What the next verse say? That was
verse 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. For he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly.
Wow. So don't ride around with nobody you ain't to. Keep going now, read down 19. Yeah.
16. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place. For blood is as nothing in his sight.
Now why you gonna be, you know this a killer, and he done talked you to go behind into the steakhouse alley. For what?
Pull over on a dark road.
A dark road. Right. Pull on behind the Walmart, you tough. For what? Who gonna see it? When they find your body, there ain't gonna be nothing but skin left on your feet. Everything else gonna be decomposed.
Including your organs.
Right.
Harvest your organs.
Right. Absolutely. Go ahead, what the next one says.
For blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. Consult not with a fool, for he cannot keep counsel. Do no secret thing before a stranger, for thou knowest not what he will bring forth. Open not thine heart to every man.
Do what?
Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn.
See, and this is still talking about the forgiveness part too, because every man, you think just because we know we Hebrews, you just throw out the trust carpet. No. Just lay it out. You know you Hebrew? Yeah, I know. Hell, I was Muslim last week and Egyptian the week before that, but I ain't gonna tell you. Because you look like you awful friendly. And that wallet must have something in it, because it's thick, look like it got a deck of Uno cards in it. I'm gonna rob you. Deck of Uno cards. Right.
what point you put with the extra.
Right.
He changed, water changed. And usually after that way.
You can't be trusting everybody.
You can't trust everybody, y'all. All we saying is say try the spirit to see if they be of God. If you want to give somebody to somebody standing on the corner, try the spirit. Do they say, bro, I'm suffering? Been out of work since Monsanto shut down, man. People at home. Man, just anything you got, man. I see them rims looking a little dirty. I got a rag and a water bottle here. I get them white me at the stoplight. But if it's just begging, Sirach tell us, don't live a beggar's life. That's different from being poor. A beggar, it's better to die than be a beggar. Because it's not a life, because when you get up in the morning, you practice how to shake your hand like a cup to see what's going to go in it. And there's no plan of coming back up. So real work for food sign was working, but it was found out it was a gimmick. Because you pull up and you see we'll work for food. Get on the back of the truck, man. I've been looking for somebody. There's leaves in the back. And he just still standing there. Get on the back of the truck. He like, partner, I found this sign. I'm just looking for a little paper. Man, I ain't talking about getting on the truck and raking on leaves for 2-3 hours and then eat a plate or something. I'm on a hustle. So y'all, we have to try the spirits and don't get caught and think, well, I didn't give charity, I should have gave charity. Listen what comes out of the mouth of them. And if you choose to give them $1, just count it a loss. Because you can't go back if you double around and see them at the liquor store. You said you was gonna go get something to eat. I ain't never giving to poor people no more. That's exactly what the devil wants you to say and do. Once you release it, it's gone. Daniel chapter 2. Yeah, we got these last couple, we're going to get out of here. Matthew 5:25 and then it's Daniel 2. Yeah, we get out of here because we got to make a couple of announcements. 2 and 1.
Hey, y'all write down 2 Kings, the 20th chapter, verses 12 through 21. And it goes in accordance with that script we just read about not opening your heart to every man.
That's right.
King Hezekiah did that after he had fell sick. One of his enemies sent him a present, sent him a letter, sent him a present. So he told, man, come on in. And he showed him all his treasuries, his stash, his spices. And then the prophet Isaiah got wind of it and was like, man, what you just do? He was like, man, I showed them everything. He said, everything? Everything. And he was like, look, man, since you showed them all that, the day coming when they gonna come and take everything. Like, that was foolish. You don't just show everybody all your gold and silver and spices and your secret treasures. Everything else that you got going on. Or just go into what that scripture we just read, or open up your heart to every man. You don't just trust whoever.
Because they know they're Hebrew.
The common day saying is people wearing their heart on their sleeve.
12 to 21.
Right, because we know who Judas Iscariot was a Hebrew, and the Messiah said it'd been better that he had not been born than to do what he did, and that was another Israelite. So we got to be careful, y'all, and discern the spirits. Go ahead, brother.
2 Kings, the 20th chapter, verse 12 to 21. Hezekiah's foolishness.
That same Hezekiah they talk about is the Messiah that David was talking about.
Right.
Wasn't that Hezekiah?
Wasn't a wise counselor. He was supposed to be called counselor.
Right.
That was some foolishness. See, why would you show your enemy everything?
Right.
Don't even make sense.
We see this counselor, the Messiah, we're going to see in Matthew 5:25, is giving us instructions how to move. A couple times they picked up stones and he moved on them. Couldn't even put them down yet, but that wasn't his mission. He had to move out. You have to move out. You can't just stay there in the same place sometimes. Like we were talking about earlier, if somebody do something to you and they repent, or you got to keep them at a distance, you don't want to keep company with them, you could be somewhere and they show up. You can't make him an enemy to this person if he ain't never stole for this. You just say, hey man, I'm up. He may still be mad, man, every time I come around, that nigga move out. He's like, why you do that? Could it be about that wallet you got scratched off with his initials on it and yours on it now? Maybe that's why he just leaves. Tell you what. Huh?
No, it's Acts 5.
Acts 5.
And 25.
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 25, 32.
Yeah, right. I got it. Well, it was a long night, wasn't it? Well, look like you got a little tired in that dream, boy. You wasn't winning the electric slide contest, was you?
I lost.
Yeah, I forgot. It's 5 and 25, right? Or 25 and 5.
Acts chapter 5, verse 25.
Start at 23. Well, y'all understand the story. What happened? They put the disciples in prison for speaking the word, and we see it's the priests again standing there that's causing this trouble.
Right.
Start at 24. Where you want to start? 17?
Yeah.
Let's get it, y'all. We're going to close out.
Oh, that's me? Get it, man. You got it? I got it. The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation.
What nation of people are these?
Israelite.
Go ahead.
And laid their hands on the apostles, and put them in the common prison. But the angel of Yahweh by night opened the prison doors, and brought them forth, and said, Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life. And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to have them brought.
So look, here they come. They thinking they still locked up. They calling shots. Yeah, go get them out of the prison for us. Yo, and many people with them, but they was up early back in the same synagogue they got run out of. Y'all, when you understand Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9, that was talking about Israelites first, were the synagogues of Satan.
Yeah.
Then when the Edomites took over and moved in and moved everything around, then now they become that. But when you read them scriptures, that's Israel was the synagogue of Satan. Yeah. Just like what we read now, these are the synagogues of Satan. The Sadducees and the Pharisees warn against the sect of the Nazarene preaching the word. Read some more, brothers.
Verse 22. But when the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told, saying, the prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keeper standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no man within.
So you get there, all of the cages is locked. 3 doors to get through, all of them locked, and they gone. Go ahead, brother.
Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priest heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow. Then came one and told them, saying, Behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council. And the high priest asked them.
Who asking this?
The high priest asked them, saying, Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name?
Do y'all hear this? These are Israelites demanding that we don't speak in Yeshua's name at all. Don't mention him. Y'all, we got this going on today right now with non-messianic maniacs.
JC.
Y'all call him JC, man. We don't mention that hippie on a stick name round here. Go ahead, bro.
And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey Yah rather than men.
That's right.
What we ought to do?
Obey Yah rather than men. The Elohim of our fathers raised up Yeshua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him hath Yah exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. and we are his witnesses of these things. And so is also the Holy Ghost,
two witnesses.
Yeah, whom Yah has given to them that obey him.
That do what?
That obey him. When they heard that, they were cut to the heart and took counsel to slay them.
So y'all see right here, y'all can read the rest of that. But y'all see, these are Pharisees. These are our own people. When they hear the words cut, we got to kill these niggas. The money finna dry up.